Hey everybody, welcome to the CAF update. We got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, plenty of guests will be swinging in here. We'll be talking mystery sketches. We'll be talking Windy City, PulpCon with Mr. Flanders, and we'll be getting things started off with Dan Brereton talking about his current Kickstarter that has, I believe, just under 2 weeks to go. But I have to thank everybody last night for helping us get to 8,000 subscribers on the channel. That was a lot of fun watching, Matt increase the number and then Anthony decrease the number. It was a bit of a back and forth there, but I think we're still around 8,007 subscribers. So I appreciate everybody for playing along last evening. And while I didn't pick an item for a giveaway tonight, we will have a giveaway during the show, and I guess it'll be a mystery giveaway. So we'll figure that out probably afterwards. But I promised to give away last night if we hit 8,000, and we did. So we will definitely do that. But yeah, welcome everybody. Yeah, see, Alberto's screaming he wants an 8K giveaway. You'll get your 8K giveaway, Alberto. I promise you that. But still at 8K, yes, we didn't lose any followers after all that last night. But here, let me bring Mr. Brereton on here because he's got a Kickstarter going on, and yeah, he's ready and raring to go. Hey, Dan.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, everybody, and congratulations on 8,000.
It,
That's
it, you know, we
formidable,
wow,
to say the least.
we'll grind. I'll give you that. But yeah, no, it's awesome. It's rewarding to know that there's that many people want to hang out. We actually had 200 people watching the show last night when we were doing the art sale.
Oh,
So
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, it was a good turnout. I ended up selling about like $29,000 in art too. So it was a
Wow, that's
huge
great.
success for everybody. Yeah.
And in this day and age, who'd have thunk?
I know. Where will we be in 3 or 4 years? I don't know. But here you are, man. What before we even get into the Kickstarter, what have you been up to? You haven't been on the channel since I think it was sometime in the fall was maybe the last time we did something together.
Yeah. I think it coincided with maybe the last project, the last campaign for the Nocturnal's art book, Halloween
Right.
Noir, that came out last year, and we did a little art sale, I believe. But I see that you have like a lot going on tonight. So I just wanted to say congratulations, and I'm gonna throw out a little sketch as a freebie, just
Oh,
to whoever you choose. You randomly choose someone, and I'm gonna mail something out to someone just to, for part of your 8,000, 8K reward. How's that sound?
that sounds amazing, Dan.
I mean,
Thank
it
you so
doesn't go
much.
to everybody, but I mean,
No, only one. Well,
lucky
I am
person.
going to do a giveaway where it's a random drawing. So
Okay,
I'll make that a part of it, and I'll get you the
okay,
mail. You're the
sounds
best, Dan. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm happy to help the ball club. Um, Speaking of which, before we talk about that Kickstarter,
Mhm.
I don't need to railroad your show away from you, but I just wanted to say I have these trading cards,
They arrived today.
Comic Art Live. Well, no, I've had them for a couple of days, but I just
Okay.
want to say I'm really looking forward to drawing on these. And it looks like you might have given me some extras too.
I
I think I did some extras last time. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably floating around in your house somewhere.
I have
But
I think I still have three that
yeah,
we need to move for you. I'm going to
well,
find a way to make sure that
if you
happens
want to
during.
use one of those as a giveaway, you could do that too.
Okay. Yeah,
Then you
you
could
got
just
it.
mail it out. Maybe we could just use that as my giveaway. I'm giving
I
some
remember all
lucky
three were
person
good.
sketch card.
See, now if I would have been thinking, I would have pulled those out before I brought you on here. But I will dig them out. Yeah, we'll work this out.
Yeah,
So, all right. Let's what we got to should I play the little video to kind of give everybody
yeah,
just a
sure.
little.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
pretty short.
Yeah, I've got that queued up. It's only like a minute, right?
We talk
Yeah. So
over
here
it.
is what's that?
We're not going to talk over it though.
No, we won't talk over
Okay.
it. It'll
All right.
play, and this is the intro video for the Kickstarter. There we go. That sets the tone.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's important to do a video. It's important to make them short. It's funny, statistics show that over half of the people who watch your video don't watch it all the way through. And I thought, well, if I make it a minute, but it doesn't, I think what it is people just want to get a taste and then move forward, and also know that you are dedicated and you're committed to what you're doing, and you're giving your full attention, which I always do. Because I don't know. I mean, when I was publishing for like 10 years through, I mean, mostly through DC. There were other companies that came in to that, but mostly DC. It was exciting when something got greenlit, and you were working on it, and it came out, like the first time Nocturnals came out with Malibu Comics, or when DC greenlit Giant Killer, which a giant monster comic. I mean, back in the late '90s, you know,
Who'd have thought?
it was like you would walk on a cloud for a month when they said yes, you know. And
Mhm.
when you do a campaign like this and you reach your goal and you see it grow, and you watch the number of backers grow, because that's the part that gets me the most excited, is the number of backers, because I really want to get books in people's hands. And so I'm really happy that you let me come on here and talk about it.
Now we have a link that we can share with everybody. You have art rewards in the tiers already,
Yeah.
but you wanted to put a special art at an add-on level, so people can pretty much pick whatever reward tier they want, and then they can add on a sketch card
Yeah.
as a
hmm So
um,
I have these nocturnal sketch cards. I'm just gonna, obviously they're blank on this side. I'm gonna fan them out here so you can see some of the designs that are on the back. There's 4 or 5 different designs, and I think we're keeping it to about 23 or something like that, 23 or 24 cards. But it's not black and white. It's a color sketch card add-on, and like you said, Bill, anyone who goes in and who's already pledged, or hasn't yet, wants to get to kind of find out what the Nocturnals are about, or you're coming back to the Nocturnals, you can do whatever tier you want. The tiers involve the book only, the book in the art portfolio, which is signed and numbered, uh, uh, coupled size sketches, a 4x6 sketch and a 6x8 bust, and then an 8x10 color watercolor and ink piece. Um, and those are really fun to do. And then for this little chat, we decided to do a trading card reward, or add-on, I should say, that you can add on to whatever pledge. Uh, Bill has a link, and with the link, you would log in. You would use that link to go to Kickstarter, log in, and then you should be able to see the sketch card reward in the add-ons after you choose your pledge. Um,
correct. And I could even
yeah,
show everybody how that's set up, because I know it was the first add-on that you could select once you picked a tier to get started, right?
uh,
Let's
well, I can't go on as a backer.
I'll
Verify.
show everybody. So if you just wanted to back and get the signed hardcover, you would pledge for that, hit continue, and then you get taken to the add-on. And the first one is on there. It's a secret, and it's a secret because the link that I put in the chat for everybody actually opens up that reward. I'll even throw it in the chat one more time. And then you would add that as an add-on. So you get to pick the tier reward you want. You could even pick a tier that already has another art reward on it, right? I
Yeah.
think 4x6 there, maybe something a little bit bigger than that too. I can't remember exactly. I guess I could go back and take a look
Well,
at the.
like I said, there's a 4x6 remark, a 6x8 bust drawing, or an 8x10 color and ink watercolor piece. So basically, you can get an 8x10 pinup or illustration or whatever you commission. Generally speaking, on the sketches, they're artist choice in the realm of the Nocturnals. The same thing, that you can choose what character you want for the watercolor in the Nocturnals world, and then there's also a link where the artist chooses, because a lot of times when I do these, people say, surprise me, and then I can kind of do whatever character I feel like doing. Like if I want to do more Gunwitch or Halloween Girl, if I want to do some kind of lesser known character that would be really fun to draw. So that's a lot of fun to do. And then for the sketch card, it'll be in the realm of the Nocturnals. But if you want to throw in, like, say, a Batman or something like a Thrill Killer Batgirl or something I've done, let's not get too crazy. Let's stay within my wheelhouse. You can you can drop me a line and ask, and request it, and I will, I'll do my best to honor it. Can't promise it, but I'll do my best.
That's all we can ask for. So they would do that through like the Kickstarter page, I assume. There's a way
When
to
you
contact the
pledge, you can leave a comment, but I prefer you not leave a comment, but just direct DM me through Kickstarter
hmm,
directly, and then it's private. It's a private conversation. Yeah.
right. Okay. So, Scott Reno had a
So,
question for
I'm
you.
sorry.
Does
I'm
the
sorry.
portfolio have art not found in the book itself?
I'm sorry.
Scott Reno has a question for you about the portfolio, wondering if it
Yeah.
has art not found in the graphic novel as well.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure all that art is new. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all kind of pinup art of the characters, and then the cover is the cover that kicks off the video, or is the banner for the Kickstarter. And I think that's also a plate, that banner piece that has even the center and then the Gun Witch and the ghost character. That is also a plate, but it's so no, it's all new art. I try not to overlap things,
Mhm.
especially with the portfolios. That way, if you're collecting these portfolios over time from campaign to campaign, you get something new all the time. So you're just looking at we're looking at now, or the pieces as they were taped down to my board. That blue uh, border is my blue
Painter's tape.
I use to to tape down the board when I'm ready to paint it. So what I've been doing for this story, it's a little bit of a departure from what I've done in the past, where it's fully painted. This one, there is some ink line in there, and then I go in and paint over that with watercolor and acrylic wash to kind of fill it all in. So it still has that same look, and I really wanted the colors to pop and give that kind of autumn feel. So it's been really fun to work on. It's a blast, really. I mean, this story has so much stuff going on. It's like a wild ride as they were chased through the night by all these different characters, and it's one scene to the next. There's something different, menacing them, chasing them, pursuing them, or they're pursuing, and it leads to a place you're not going to expect. I promise you, you're not going to expect where we end up in chapter 3 as the story progresses. And it's just been so fun to do. And I've worked on it for so long when I could, because it's all under my own steam. And I realized that if I try, it's all penciled. It's just finishing the ink and the paint and everything is the most time consuming part now for me. And what I decided was, if I put this out in 3 parts, I can get it out to everybody more quickly. And it's actually helped me focus and get
Hmm.
more work done. In fact, I actually added some little pages and scenes here and there to part 1, to kind of not to beef it up, just to kind of smooth out and enhance the narrative with the characters and the story flow. And that's always fun to do. Be able to go back and edit what you're doing. Um, Maybe shuffle the scenes around, because when I do these stories, when I lay them out, I don't necessarily lay them out from start to finish. I do scenes. I have a rough outline, then I do scenes, and then I can shuffle them later on, or add and subtract. Well, never subtract, but usually add. So it's a lot of fun to do.
Well, I mean, I know that your Patreon fans always get to see, the process work, how you start with pencils and laying and doing the inks and then the watercolors and gouache, and I think that I know we've gone over that a few times in the shows before. You have a very methodical process. But so, how long has this story been in the works for you?
Well, when the Sinister Path graphic novel was something we did in Kickstarter, and that came out in 2017. Um, and then Dark Horse released it last year with expanded content and new covers, and all in 5 variant covers last year as a 4-issue miniseries. And then this month it's coming out as a collected soft cover with that new material. But when we first put it out in 2017, as it existed then, we did it as a graphic novel. We did through Kickstarter. We did a soft cover and a hard cover. And while I was working on that, and getting it together, I was already thinking about the follow-up. What's going to happen next? Where is this going? Especially with a scene that happens almost near the end, where you're introduced to some an element that gets thrown in, and it's definitely a cliffhanger type. It's a couple of cliffhangers that happen at the end of Sinister Path, and one cliffhanger gets dealt with pretty directly in Darkly, and then the other one is dealt with in the next graphic novel that will follow Darkly, that will make up a trilogy. So I've had this in the works a long time. It's just trying to juggle all the work, paying work, Patreon and Kickstarter projects, and then finding time to finish these has been a challenge. But I found that when I made the decision to put a book out this year, that first book, things started to fall in place for me, and I found more time to get the work done. It was very motivating, and it's exciting, really, because I can't wait for people to see it. Do you see the Gun Witch there wearing a top hat because it's Halloween night?
Exactly. It comes off here, but
It comes off, all right, yeah. And then his regular hat goes on. Don't worry, he puts on the Gun Witch hat shortly thereafter. We couldn't do a Gun Witch story where he didn't wear his hat.
no, no, not at all. But like Josh says, it does look amazing, Dan. And so the plan is to have this completed, late fallish, and maybe delivery by year end.
Well, it has to go into the printer this summer, and
Hmm.
would show up, at my doorstep, hopefully in early fall, late summer, and then we start right in on fulfilling it. Starting with, we do it in phases. We go with book only, and then whatever add-ons, and then we go book portfolio, and then the artwork. And at some point over the summer, I sit down and I look at all the artwork I have to do, and I spend a month or two working on that. And I've got it down to kind of a, not a science, but a really good sort of working schedule that I've been doing over the years to get these things finished, because it really is important to me to get them out the same year. Now that first one you're showing there, the Sinister Path, that's the cover of the soft cover that Dark Horse puts out this month. That one we mistakenly promised it the same year, and I knew when that happened that was going to not work. So I made it clear that this is a lot of work, and we actually added a bunch more pages than we. I think originally it was a 64-page graphic novel. It ended up being it had to be about 96 pages, 97 pages, something like that.
Hmm.
Because I kept expanding it. But, I was in touch with people the whole time. I shared what was going on. I shared the process. I saw sneak peeks. I was accessible because I didn't want anyone to worry. And when it finally came out, it was the book I wanted to put out, and that was the important part. And
Well,
everyone seemed pretty happy with it.
I saw
So
Scott Reno said he couldn't see the sketch card, so I threw the other link, the secret reward tier link, back into the chat. So that's
okay.
the link you need to use, Scott. It
You
basically.
need to log in. Just very important that you log in. So what it'll do is the link will take you to a login to log into Kickstarter. And if you're not a member of Kickstarter, you're going to have to become one, and that way you'll have a login. And then when you go to when you start looking at the add-ons, not the reward tiers, but so first you go to your reward, you pick your reward tier, and then it's going to show you a bunch of add-ons. And like Bill was saying, the first one should be through that link should be the trading card.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it even said that it was the secret tier, if I'm not mistaken, when I went
Yeah,
on to it.
Kickstarter started doing that in the last year or so, secret reward tiers, and those are kind of fun. Sometimes you have a tier that is tailored to, maybe you have a backer who's returning who has a specific need or something, and you want to make sure you take care of that backer. And like for instance, I wasn't offering the book to as many countries this time around, just because I felt like the cost of shipping is so much. But people came in from all these outside the U.S. and said, "Look, please, just can we please get it?" I said, "Okay," and they said, "Listen, we're used to paying through the nose for shipping. We just want it."
Sure.
So when people would come to me and say, "Can you do this?" I would make it available for their country if it wasn't already on there. So I've opened that up quite a bit. Another thing I added yesterday, I believe, was, and this is not a secret reward tier. You can see this when you go into add-ons. Is so originally when we did the Sinister Path Kickstarter, we offered a soft cover blank sketch cover version. So it had the logo, and it was blank cover, and then I would illustrate it. And I'm offering that same version. It's not the Dark Horse, not the newer version, but it's the 2017 version of the soft cover with with a drawing on the cover. And those have come out looking pretty good. And I've done quite a few of them over the years. And I hadn't offered them yet because I was just kind of waiting. So those are definitely an add-on now that you can add. And you basically can tell me what Nocturnal's character you want on that sketch cover.
Well, that's not too bad at all, right? I mean, you're covering all your bases with the fan base, whether they want a portfolio, original art, just the book, or now even some sketch cards for those who are sketch card collectors. But no, that's awesome, man. So how much of the book would you say you're 100% completed on as far as page count?
For part one is, I think I have one page I want to add.
Mm.
Because even when I started, even after I thought I had everything together and I launched the Kickstarter, I added a double page opening spread. So instead of a double page spread to start the story, I have a double page spread, which maybe I can show you. Let me see if I can find it in here. Because I wanted to kind of open with a kind of handoff from one story to the other. I don't have it like handy, but so I have this. Actually, I can show you the. I can show you the little thumbnail that I came up with. So basically you see this church. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is because you can't see it. But there's a church on fire, and then there's a hillside, and there's smoke, and there's flame, and then there's a figure walking toward us in the foreground. So I flopped that image and use that as my double page spread. This massive church on fire and flames and smoke as the character walks away, which is the aftermath of something that happens in the last book and bridges us into the next one. And I wanted a bridge. And then there's one more page after that I need to do. And then pretty much all the artwork's done. And then I finalize the dialogue. It gets lettered. While that's happening, I have some other little things I want to play around with and design and things like that. There'll be a gallery of pieces that'll accompany it. Some pinup stuff of the characters. There'll be some concept stuff, character designs, things like that, and a 14-page raccoon short story that has been in the wings for a while. It was written by a screenwriter and TV writer Ken Sanzel, who wrote the Replacement Killers and a movie called Kill Chain with Nicolas Cage, and he was one of the head writers on Numbers, that TV show.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Ken and I go way back. He's a huge fan of the Nocturnals, and so he wrote this very noir, very crime fiction raccoon story, and called Broken Rules. And my buddy Julian Yates, who's an amazing, very versatile illustrator, comic artist. He's worked on the Creepshow TV show, Lego, Ninjago, kaiju stuff. I mean, his style is so malleable and sharp, and he does beautiful noir black and white story with the raccoon and the raccoon's underworld. It's a version, a part of the Nocturnals world that we don't really get to see, which is really exciting. And boy, they just did a really bang up job on that, and I'm really excited to have that in the first volume. And then
That's
we have
great.
short stories.
You get a little collaboration on a project, that's yours, but to bring in people who you admire and who love the characters and
I
the
love
imagery.
doing that. It's so fun. We've done it in the past where I've written stuff for other people who have drawn it, and it's just such a blast to collaborate. And you see other people. It's like you're seeing what you're doing through another lens, which is just really cool. Like when Ted Nathan and I did the Gunwitch miniseries with Oni Press, that was just amazing. The Outskirts of Doom, and then the next two volumes that would comprise all of Darkly. Each of those would have a short story backup as well. And I want to tell you more about that, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'm just going to, those works. So I'm just going to keep mum on that for now.
All right, well, I'm going to throw the link in the chat one more time so people have access to this one, and then I will add it to the show description. So those people who are watching the show after the fact on the rewind will also have access to this link, so you can add a sketch card to to this when you're back in this Kickstarter.
Yeah,
So
and
no.
like you were saying, Bill, I mean, there are other art rewards on there as well that
Hmm.
may fit your interest, even better than a sketch card. Or I like doing sketch cards. I know lots of people like doing them. I enjoy them. But there's other things that are on there as well. And I will leave this link open for a while. Okay, I'm going to leave it open for several days, so that you can go on there, and you don't have to do it tonight, but uh, there is a limited number of them. And
Hmm.
because for the sketch card, it wasn't necessarily something where I think it even says on there that it's artist choice. Like I said, you can make a suggestion to me. I can't make a promise, but I'll do what I can. It gets just hard when you're dealing with 600, 700 backers or whatever. It can get
I
confusing.
get it. It's
But
a
here's
little
the thing.
bit of a clerical nightmare making sure you put the right
Yep.
art with the right book or,
And it's happened before where someone asked for a character and they didn't get it, and like all hell broke loose. I mean, it was like you'd think that I had shot their dog. I mean, I seriously, it was just a mistake, and I felt bad, and I redid it and everything, but it happens. You want people to come back. You don't want people to think that you're ignoring them or that you don't care. Of course I care. But here's the thing. You can actually get more than one sketch card out of this. If you want to back for 2 or 3, add 2 or 3 on, you can. That way, then you're probably going to get a tableau of 3 different characters. I mean, that's
hmm
the idea. That if because some people aren't happy with just one.
Scott
You know?
Reno says they've added 3 add-ons. I don't know if they're all sketch cards or not, but hey, that's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I remember Scott from way back. He commissioned a beautiful piece for me years ago. I don't know if he ever wants to share it and tag me in it or something online, but it's a really cool piece. I think there might be some nudity in it, but maybe we can get away
You
with
don't
that.
mind being tagged in something that you worked on, so
No, it's not that. It's just
nude or not,
when you
it's
put stuff out
tasteful.
there on social media, you have to be careful. But
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, thank you so much. And I'm like I said, I'm really excited to delve into this next chapter of the story, because it does take place right after the events of Sinister Path. So, and it's worked out really well having Dark Horse put out the miniseries and then the new trade coming this month, so that you can kind of slide right in when the fall comes.
Fantastic.
That's
Scarina
rare for number
is
one.
on CAF, by the way, Dan. So you only need to search for it. That piece that you did for Scott.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's
He's got
true.
it
Right,
shared on Comic Art
right,
Fans.
right.
We don't have a tagging feature there yet. We should add that. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
go to Scott Reno's gallery, and you'll see the Panther goddess I did for him. It's yeah, that was a
Well,
fun.
before we sign off, too, I have to say you've got you have the OAX original auction paddle there, right behind you on the left, and I've got the OAX logo here. I don't think I've ever seen a bookend OAX setup like this before,
I
but
don't
you have that Thor hammer up
probably
there. I
looking in
love
the
it.
wrong place, but oh, is it on the
The
wall?
paddle, yeah, right up.
I
There
love
you
that
are.
paddle, and you know what? That was one of that was a really memorable part of the first OAX was the auction, because
Hmm.
I had done I had a piece in there that I was really excited to see do well, and I can't remember, what was it? It was based on Cockram's corner box art for.
Right. Yeah. Jason in the chat was just mentioning that he has it on his wall and he's
Oh,
looking at it right now. He loves it.
there you
So,
go. There you go. So
yeah.
thank you. And that was really exciting to watch that happen. And it was just a pretty cool event. I mean, overall, I was just really happy to be asked to be there and to be part of it. So
For the first
I'll
one.
go back.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
there was a lot of question marks leading into that one, but it worked out pretty well.
Oh, I bet. I mean, you were it's funny, Bill, you just kept your cool throughout. I mean, I never saw you,
It
lose your
was
composure.
I was wearing my mask. And it worked. I'm glad. But yeah, Dan, anyway, man, I've got to switch over to my
Yeah.
next segment, but
Yeah.
let me throw the link one more time here in the chat for everybody to back the Kickstarter. There's 9 total days left on the Kickstarter overall, but not 9 days to have the option to add on the sketch card with your Kickstarter tier that you're going to select. So just keep that in mind. It could be a couple days, it could be 4 days, but it won't run the whole length of the remainder of the Kickstarter. So get in there,
Yeah.
back it, pick
My
up a sketch
recollection
card.
is actually fuzzy because it was a whole entire day ago, but it might run till the end. But then again, I may have set it to run earlier than that. So it would be better to try and get on it now. Like I said, there's a limited number of them. So, And if you can get 3, that means that someone might come in and get 3 or 2 or something. So yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Don't.
Wayne's telling everybody they need to back it. I'm sure he's
Yeah,
already
thank you.
backed.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne was early on. He's yeah, always been a big supporter.
Wayne's the best. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's been a big supporter of every show that you and I did when we had an art dropper.
Yeah.
At least he always picked up a couple pieces.
Wayne
And he's
bought
on your
the
Patreon.
Wayne bought the wraparound cover for the Sinister Path graphic hardcover that we did through the Kickstarter. It was like an aspirational reward where you could get the painting, and he got it. Yeah, so that was pretty huge.
Wayne's the
Not
man. He's
painting, but just huge that he was able to get it. So
well. Any parting words here, Dan? Before we head off.
I just want to thank everybody who's already supported this book and everyone who is about to. It means a lot to me. It's how these things happen these days, and nothing makes me happier than to be able to go directly to you guys and be able to kind of realize something that I did.
Uh-oh. You
Can
know
we?
what? There we go.
Am I still
You're,
here?
yeah, you came back. It was just
Okay.
a
But
momentary
I wanted
pause.
to say thank you, and it's exciting for me.
Awesome. Well, you've got our support. I'll make sure that we get a notice out there in the news in the last couple of days before the Kickstarter. And again, Dan, and thank you for contributing that piece of art to us hitting
Yeah,
8,000
happy to,
subscribers as well.
and thanks so much, everybody.
All right. We'll see you later, Dan.
All right, take care, Bill. Thank you.
You too. All right, that's awesome. Dan's been a big supporter of stuff that we've done. We've done sales shows with him numerous times over the last few years, and it's been a while. So we got to get him back here on the channel sometime in 2026. And you never know, But I'm looking forward to it. I haven't backed the Kickstarter yet, but I will. I'll probably pick either a sketch card as an add-on, or I might go for one of the larger rewards. You never know. But Marcus, you're always lobbying for something in the chat. That's the one thing we always appreciate about you. But hey, I see Flagstaff Flanders is in the green room. I don't think he's at home though. This doesn't look like the Flanders residence. Hey, Josh,
What's
how are
happening,
you?
Bill Cox? How about that Dan Brereton, man? Huh?
I love Dan. Dan is the man. He
Oh,
I've always loved his art. He's one of the I know when I first went to San Diego in 2003, he was one of the artists that whose work I saw that I was like, damn, I love this guy. Him, Joe Linsner, they were all kind of in the same area, and
yeah.
I've loved his work ever since I got to see it in person.
Yeah, just so colorful and dynamic. I've got at least 2 Brereton pages. I've got a Swamp Thing and a Death that I got for the mystery sketch, I think like a couple years ago. And just both
Oh, I
amazing.
remember that. Yeah, the bust, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dan, yeah, those turned out really good. And Dan is doing mystery sketches as well, everybody. If you didn't know, he's doing both 9x12s and sketch cards. So that you saw him show off the sketch cards. But we're going to be sending out our first round of assignments for mystery sketch pretty soon too, probably tomorrow. We got a lot already in. But yeah, it's good to see you, man. We missed you at OAX, of course. That
I missed you guys
you and
so much,
Sherry.
man. I was living vicariously through everybody's posts, and it looked completely amazing. I know everybody I spoke to had a great time, and yeah, it was just wonderful. I shout out to Jim Warden, who gave me like a very long recap of his experience, and of course Matt Wagner's experience and everything. So it was just sounded great, and of course my neighbor Kin Wong, had a blast. So, and Tom, I
Exactly.
know, yeah, everyone.
He's able to fill you in on other things that you missed. But yeah, you always forget you have a relationship with Jim Warden thanks to your love for Matt Wagner art.
That's right. That's right. And it goes back decades. Like I look back and I think I bought my first piece from Jim like 2004 or something. And we met at OAX. It was another, beautiful experience, side experience of going to OAX and getting to meet people and connect with people that you only meet online or through some long distance purchase. But yeah, we immediately became good friends, and just such a great guy. And of course Matt's amazing, so it was great. Meet your heroes. Sometimes they're really cool.
Exactly. No, Matt is very down to earth, and there's a reason why Jim Morton is known as Gentleman Jim Morton.
That's right.
He
That's
is
right.
the nicest guy on the floor.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I love him. He's amazing. But hey, you're here because you got to go to a show that I've always wanted to go to and still have yet made it. One of these years I hope to get there. But they just had their 25th anniversary show or something, right? It's
That's
the
right. That's right. Sherry and I finally got to go to Windy City Pulp and Paper, and it was a tough call because it was the same weekend as C2E2.
right.
But and we had one day that we could have gone to either. So yeah, we drove out to Pulp and Paper, and it was a really cool event, really welcoming, really amazing. Lots of great art. They had a nice art exhibition, but a lot of sellers, a lot of cool pulp. Really fun.
Well, I've got some photographs from you. I thought about putting it into a video, and then I thought it might just be fun to kind of look at them
Yeah.
And comment as we go. But
Yeah, that's the
this is
welcome table. They just had tons of free, great giveaways, really, really easy to get into, very affordable. I think it was like $25. They had a real nice schedule that included an auction. They also have a film part of it where they show, pulp films and things like that. So that was really cool.
I did not, Marcus, but thank you for that. I like Peter Rose saying he can smell the pulp right
Oh
through
my
the.
God. Yeah. And, as collectors, you got to look at this stuff and be like, I can't start another ridiculous, expensive, rare, fragile collection. I really had to resist.
Those, the pulp magazines, the covers were always so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and I can see why, I mean, come on. I mean, we're collectors at the end of the day. Even
Right.
we love the art, but just being able to see the books, there's something, you wouldn't mind having a shelf of those.
Oh, absolutely. And, I immediately went for the Shadow comics, and they're so beautifully, they're all in Mylar and backed. And, these are books that would have been around when my dad was a kid in the 30s and 40s, and they're still gorgeous. These covers are just, I mean, it's like flipping through somebody's, original art catalog. Like it really is. And there's just a lot of really amazing tables set up of dealers and, really creative ways to display art. So this guy, he's got the original covers, the art next to the books, which is just so great. And I mean, you could just really creative way to display the art, and there was original art, there was prelims, and honestly, the prices were really great. I mean, it was really what you'd expect or a little less. I mean, you could get out of there by, spend a couple $100 on a nice prelim or some cover art that's, not too bad. So.
Well, it's an area that, I mean, not a lot of people know about, or know that the art is available, and because it's past like a lot of our time, period. I mean, we're looking at books that were in the late 40s, 50s, early 60s. I mean, it's
Right.
before our time as far as being able to even pick these up. So, but that's what makes them all, to me, all the more intriguing because it's stuff you don't know about. You don't know the artist names.
Exactly.
And and the artwork is unfamiliar, but it's still right in our wheelhouse. Pulp is so close, magazines and stories or books are so close to comics, and clearly the vendors there had a bit of a crossover as well, right? Because you can see comic
Right.
books and some comic book artwork here as well.
Yeah, there was a Zuli page that this guy had. Definitely lots of comic art available. There was some much older art. I saw some Little Nemo pages and things like that went, but art is art, and just appreciating a good illustration, whether it was, I mean, so many of us love, the Carol Day stuff, and there's so much overlap between pinup and pulp and comic art. It's just gorgeous, and you can really appreciate it. A lot of indie stuff that was cool.
Rich Danny says, girly mags are his Achilles heel.
Oh my God. Sherry will make the joke. It was like, so they were just, There's a lot of boobs at this event. I will say that, a lot of boobs.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, keeps you looking around. I saw this was
Absolutely.
one of those pulverizers from Hillary Barta. I thought that was awesome to see because Hillary doesn't want to sell anything from the What the series of stuff that we've had him on a few times. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
everything I got, I want to keep.
Yes.
And he talked about the pulverizer being one of the ones that he did sell, and he always regretted it. And here you go. Here's a page
Totally.
from it.
Yeah, it's a great page. And then, of course, I immediately remembered that book and was like, oh, so tempting, so tempting. Yeah, lot of, and this was an original artist who was displaying there. I mean, he had a book and his stuff's online, Douglas Klauba. And I mean, you can Google him. His stuff is incredible. I mean, really, really striking stuff up front. Prints, original art, stuff that he was doing was just really, really out of this world.
That's fantastic. I feel like I've seen his name before, but I'm not familiar with the name though. I don't know. I'll have to look around. But yeah. So then just lots of stuff like this. Here you go. They have the cover, the original.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys really put a lot of time into their display. This guy we spoke to for a while, and I got a couple prelims from, but like it really is just such a cool way to display art. And he's got some really beautiful stuff. So I mean, it was I remember watching, I think it was on CAF a couple of years ago, you did kind of a clip or something. Somebody had showed some art they got at Chicago Pulp and Paper, and I was just like, ugh, man, I got to get to this show. It was so easy. It was carpeted. I got to say that, not to slam C2E2, but a little hard on the feet after, a
Of
day
course.
around.
That's why we like it, the OAX location too, right? I mean, you get the
Exactly.
comfortable. You could lay down and take a nap, but
Right.
but the space looks great. I mean, honestly, it looks, it's perfect. It's not like going to your VFW or anything. They've got a decent space for it, and presentation wise, I would assume all the exhibitors are really happy to be there.
They were, and everyone was super friendly. Like, it's a great crowd. Not surprising, guys in the pulp world and the art world, just as friendly and inviting as the comic art folks we know. And parking was easy. Getting in and out was super easy. Like, it really was. And people just wanted to tell you about the artists and about the art, because like you said, we don't know a lot of this stuff. And, a lot of these artists' names were new. But you still can tell a good piece of art from, you could look at a piece and you could tell the ones that are going to go for 10 or 15,000 and the ones that are going to go for, 1,500 or something. So
right.
It's still.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I so much want to get to this show one year.
Oh yeah.
Away. Rich Danny's wanted to know if George Hagenauer was there this year. I don't remember seeing a picture of him in any of your shots. Maybe you've never met George.
I don't know if George was there. I think he might have been. I met one guy, one dealer who knew about OAX and had been considering going down for a while. I'm blanking on his name. But I know that Lee was there, and we were both talking to him, and Lee introduced me to him. So
this is all great stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
when I first saw this, I thought, how is Sherry taking that picture of you? And then I'm like, oh, it's in the painting, because I wanted to use this in the show graphic because it was you in the photo.
Right.
Hopefully an unused coffin.
That's what I asked. I was like, was this something you pulled up, or they're like, no, this is where we sleep at night when the convention closes. So this guy had to ship it. I mean, he brings this in from out of state. A lot of these guys were coming in from one of the dealers, the guy Lee introduced me to, is coming in from like Wyoming for this show.
Well, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of opportunity to display this stuff that people are going to, at this level with this much.
Right.
And so, Yeah, I mean, I got to get over there
Yeah, and it's such a unique
up there.
mix of stuff. Like, these guys had a great collection, really beautiful stuff. There were a couple pieces super tempting. I mean, some of this was just gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Yeah, that piece over on the left, that blue one, the blue one in the middle under the planet.
This over here, or if this one, you
Yeah,
mean?
on the left. Yeah, on the right side. I'm sorry, the right side there. The second one from the bottom, not all the way down, but all the way to the right, up a little bit. Yeah, not that one. The
This
other
one.
one. The
Yeah.
one above that. Yeah, that blue one, light blue. Yeah, that one. I was like, we looked at. It was about 4,200. God, that was gorgeous.
Who
I
was
wish
it by?
I don't remember the artist, but it looked like it was something. Sorry I didn't get a closer version of that, but it looked like something that would have been on like a heavy metal magazine cover, right?
Right, right. Yeah, I can't zoom in anymore. It starts getting
Yeah, sorry.
blurry. That's all right.
That's my bad.
Yeah, this is awesome. But you did pick up a few pieces while you were there.
Yep.
Yeah, it would look great on the wall. You know, these are awesome.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one stood out for sure. Nothing like a turnaround, rear end shot.
Exactly. Yeah,
That one sold actually. That the one, if you go back, that was a pretty famous one. The woman, yeah, that one sold. That was about 14,000, I think.
Wow, it's
Really
beautiful.
amazing.
Oh my, McGinnis. Okay, yeah,
Yeah. All the McGinnis
guys there.
stuff. Exactly. I think he had that McGinnis, and then he had another one right next to it, and then he had a bunch of sketches that were, only several $100s. But yeah,
Cool. Oh, there was the other McGinnis, right?
that's the other one. Yep.
Definitely McGinnis. It's after 10, right? No, it's almost after 10.
Sure.
Until
The
10.
kids are asleep. We can show some.
Oh, wait, now you did send some pictures of well, what else? Some of the things that you picked up, right? Or
Yep.
let me see here. I can switch the slide, switch over to what you got while you were at the show.
We only picked up a few nice little pieces, but we got really lucky. There were two real nice prelims. That's one of them.
That's really nice.
Yeah, both David Mattingly. That's from the Outpost of Jupiter, I think.
There you go. Lee is commending you.
Thank you. And that one's from a book called Winning Colors, where the prelim, the planet was red, because you can't have too many red planets / red sun pictures, right? I think I've got 6 now in my collection, including a Brereton.
This is what the one was from, right? The first one.
That was the Outpost of Jupiter, the final copy, and then you'll see the Winning Colors cover. They changed the planet. That was actually one. I don't think it's published. The artist is Rob Schoten, and it's called Moonlight Miracle. And we both looked at it, and we were just so struck by it. We walked around for a few hours, and then Sherry was like, "Let's go back and get that one piece," it's so striking. It's a watercolor, really interesting piece.
What's the size on it?
It is about I'd say it's about 8 by 11, maybe, or 8.5 by 11.
So you can fit a lot of these on one wall space, right? You can get a.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the ones came framed and the others just matted, so it'll get framed. But the two, this one's framed, so it can go right up on the wall. It's really small, and maybe it's like 9 by 10 or 9 by 12. And then Sherry, the find of the day. We found this thing on Canvas, this giant Uhura, and the guy's like, "How much you think it is?" And I'm like, "I don't know, $20." He's like, "Nope." I'm like, $50? He's like, "Nope." So I keep going higher. He looks at me, he goes, $5.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at Sherry, we're like, like, we're carrying that home, aren't we? She's like, oh yeah. So that's now sitting in our basement.
Wow. So you never know what you're gonna find there. They have like a little, almost like a little garage sale room, or this is just somebody's booth in a corner.
Yeah, he had all this amazing, like, just like sci-fi stuff and old sci-fi magazines. He had some pulp, but he had, I mean, he's got that. I mean, it really was, yeah, it really was a good deal. I mean, he's got the shirtless Sulu in the background, and
That was $10, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah. Buy one, get one. It was,
And
yeah, he just had a lot of great stuff. And then, like everybody at OAX, he's super charitable. Like, he starts telling us about this, he's like, yeah, I like to do this, but I sit on the board of this children's charity that, raises money for kids with cancer. And it just was really beautiful, and like sold us on his nonprofit. Like, what a nice guy. Like, really, it's nice to find that same ethos.
right. Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Well, we art collectors have a lot in common. Yeah,
We
find
do.
it good, and we just appreciate the arts. I mean, that's yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm so jealous, man. And I know I have a couple more other photos here. I'll have to switch around to one other window, because they did have a gallery exhibit too, right?
Yeah, they had a gallery exhibit, and it was, I'd say, like 80 or 90% the collection of this one couple,
Mhm.
whose name you can see there in a lot of these pictures. But I mean, the art was just, it was outstanding, and just really, these were the pieces where we were like, oh my God, I wish that somebody has really amassed an incredible collection.
Well, again, it's great to see, right? I mean, that's what we do at OAX. They've been doing
Exactly.
at Windy City for a while as well. Yeah, this is what you want. It's just great to be able to see art in this environment. And I'm sure a lot of this stuff, like you said, it's in a couple's personal collection, so not too often does it ever get to be seen. So
Yeah.
that's so wonderful that they would bring these pieces out and let you appreciate them. A lot of
Well,
illustration.
it really is one of the highlights of visiting these art fairs. I mean, like the ones you've had at OAX, they really are a highlight. So being able to just wander in and just enjoy art like you're in a museum, I mean, it really is. I mean, look at those pieces. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that one on the right.
Right?
Like a wind tower of the future from 1949 or something like that.
Well, that's it. It's just, some of this is just, you look at the date and you think, oh my gosh, like they were so creative.
1939, I'm sorry.
Right, like 1939, it was like my dad was like 10 years old or something, when that
Mhm.
was created. Like, that's just unreal. Like, so before our time. So
Yeah, no, this is special.
yep.
Oh yeah, that's just fantastic stuff.
Right.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was, we left in such a good mood. Like, it was just, it's like, it was like walking through the the collection of art at OAX. When you get to see stuff that's just one amazing piece after another. Wow. Yeah, some of
I'm
it.
jealous.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
Wow.
nuts?
That is.
Yeah, some of them were just like really ridiculous, and I just, the eye that this artist had. That piece, I mean, I spent 10 minutes looking at that. There's just so much going on in that piece. It's like these tentacle people, and when you zoom in, you're just like, they're everywhere. Like, they're all throughout this whole thing, and then you're like, this is kind of terrifying. Is this going to give me nightmares? Like,
I think it might, right?
it's so creepy. Like, that's what science fiction is, right? Like, it's fascinating and terrifying.
Yeah. Marcus goes in for the statuary, of course, but no, this is amazing, man. I am totally jealous. I have to go. Um, yeah, I would choose this over C2E2. I think just for sheer pleasure. I mean, look at that. That's
You know,
the
I love
lobster
it.
planet.
Yeah, that's the other one that creeped me out. I was like, what? You know, I'm never going to eat lobster again, right? Like,
No, you're not. Oh man. Yeah, well, this is great, man. I'm glad you skipped C2E2 to go to this and
yeah,
then send us these photographs so we could enjoy it as well. And again, you see a lot of this stuff is nicely framed too, so this is presentation stuff for the collectors who haven't. And yeah,
right.
that's
I know. I'm like somewhere someone's entire living room is empty of framed art because it's sitting here at this collection, like just, you know, and everybody who walked through with us, we all kind of looked at each other like, yeah, like there's no words, right? Like when you're in the presence of such incredible art, it's just it's amazing.
well, I completely agree. Well, yeah, do they already have their 2027 dates out there publicly yet?
I'll be honest, like they don't throw stuff up on their website right away. Like they're not as like it wasn't clear to me even when I checked their website, like how I was going to get in. I'm like, we're just going to show up and pay the $25.
I've always felt the same way when I go to their website.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of information there, but not a lot of like helpful, like what's going to happen. But they've got their baked in audience. Everybody probably knows what they're getting into when they go there, so they keep it
they do.
Pretty lean.
They do, and it's a bit of it tends to lean into an older audience, and so I would say bring cash, bring checks, bring old school forms of payment. Do not expect Zelle and PayPal, or sometimes they'll take credit cards and tack on 3 or 4%, but we were ready with cash and checks, so that's what I would say.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, all great, good advice for those of us who want to make it next year or in the future. But Josh, this was I appreciate you doing this, man. We had it queued up for last week. We just weren't able to fit it. I'm glad we were able
well,
to
thanks
do
for
it this
having me on. I appreciate it, Bill. It's good to see you, man. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. So,
well, hey, whenever you got something cool to show off, let me know. Or
always.
Or maybe we'll get you on a round
right?
table with us someday. We can get another collector conversation going on, and you can join us for that.
I'd love to. Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime, my friend.
All right, sweet, man. Well, thanks again for doing this. Say hey to Sherry. Sherry's in the chat. Hey, Sherry. Hopefully we'll see you both in Florida next year, or if we're lucky, maybe even sooner. You never know.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, who knows? Are you going to be at Heroes in June?
Going to be at Heroes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Are you
Well,
going?
we're toying with the idea of maybe driving out and taking a road trip. So
okay.
Maybe we'll meet up there.
We'll be there Friday through Sunday. So yeah, if you can make it, we'll see you there.
Awesome.
All right. See you, Josh.
All right. Take care, Bill. Bye, everyone.
All right. Well, we that's awesome. I really have always been intrigued by that show, and this is the most photographs I've gotten to see from it. So now I know I have to go, and yeah, it's a must see now. So moving right along, I got 2 more guests in the green room, and let me bring them both in. They're both smiling. They're very happy to be here this evening. Both Chicky Cruz and Tatiana. Hi, how's it going?
Hey, Bill. Hey, Tatiana.
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Well, I can't complain. And look, you've literally got the racks that we were just looking at Windy City Con. Those the grid pattern makes it real easy to move art around on them. They're perfect. Have you always wanted to go to Windy City? I mean, I know we get to go to IX quite frequently, but Windy City is is a show I've always wanted to see, just because you're going to be seeing more older illustration work versus the young modern crowd that IX really attracts.
I really need to make a point of going next year because it's so close for me here.
Right.
And it's just a show that I never thought about going to because I always did IX every year. But I'm like, well, that's actually really close. Like it's either a short flight or, not too crazy of a drive. So.
Well, all right. Well, maybe we'll see each other there next year. And I
Hey,
think
John.
I think it's in March, if I'm not mistaken. So, hopefully, it's like the week after OAX. So it's like that's the time off we get to take for ourselves is a weekend off to.
If it's the week before, we're
back.
doomed. Like it's not happening at all.
Right? No, it's not. But hey, you guys are here because we have this mystery sketch thing going on right now, and we had a really great first week of sales. First 48 hours of sales. I think we sold like 120 in the first,
Nice.
between 9x12s and sketch cards in the first 48 hours, and I think we're just over 150. So I can tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to pull down the list and start dishing out assignments. So I've got my work cut out for me tomorrow. But tonight we get to talk about the next giveaway with Tatiana, and also draw the winners from the current giveaway. Now, the one thing I didn't do, Jiggy, do you have the art with you? Because I'm gonna have to dig up the scans because I know I've got them in another folder around here. But the 3 pieces that we had for, I've got them. Don't you worry.
No, okay. I just want to say hi to
found it.
Josh. I'm wearing his t-shirt now.
Nice. My shirt also has Mannix art on it.
Nice.
Oh man, sorry. David Peterson is what I'm sporting this evening. Little mouse guard piece.
Can't go wrong with David Peterson.
No, you can't. You cannot. But I had a Mannix shirt on the other day though. So, but yes, David Peterson is this evening. But as everybody knows, the giveaway that we talked about last week, and before we even do that, I should put a link to the to our mystery sketch sign up so everybody knows where and how and when and what it is. And I'm sure everybody in the chat's familiar, but mystery sketch is what we do twice a year in May and November as part of our Comic Art Live virtual con on Comic Art Fans. And it's fun. The artwork that's done is always super special. But the way it works is you pick a character when you make your purchase, but you don't get to know which artist you get assigned to. And right now, if you were to go follow that link that I just posted into the chat, you'll find that I think we have about, is it 60 count right now, Tatiana? I don't know how many artists we listed.
It's right around there. If it's not right on, it's just above or over. It's close to that.
So the page breaks out the artists if they're repped, which group they're with, and also the independent artists who aren't repped but are coming and working with us directly. And I can tell you that we do have another wave of artists, maybe even a third wave of artists we'll announce at some point. But I think next week. Yes. So it'll get back to where it was last year, which I think was 90-ish. I can't remember where we ended up in November. But the first giveaway, we last year and the years leading up to this, we did a lot of like stating what the giveaways were at the start, and we're going to kind of just keep rolling these along. I mean, it's a 6-week period where you can buy mystery sketches, and Jiggy and his team were very open to coming up with this idea of giving 3 pieces of 9x12 art away, and I can share which those pieces were with everybody. We have an awesome piece by JP Gigzilla here. Plorks. I think everybody wanted to say Porkies or something last week, but they got something close. So we got that from JP. Then this lovely Land Medina piece with Black Cat and Spidey in it. And what was the other one? Oh, that's right. It was the King Daredevil by Roy Mercado. He loves those stark background images. It just makes characters pop. Yeah, I love Roy's work.
Yeah, I love that too. Very, very cool.
So his Star Wars book comes out in 12 days. Echoes of the Empire, April 22, Roy Mercado. And I've seen pages from issue 2 already. So Mr. Jeff Wedding will be in ML, will be very happy.
Nice.
Have you already gotten inquiries about the interiors?
Yes. Yeah. I did send. So how it goes is I have to send it to Lucasfilm first.
Right.
Then they said, okay, please give us 6 weeks until you decide to sell. All right.
Yeah, they get right of first refusal on everything.
Yes.
That's unfortunate, but it's going to a good home. I got my Lucas museum. Are you on the mailing list yet? I mean, they really are like, it's official. It's like September 22nd. The Lucas Museum's opening. I don't think they can back off from that now.
Bill, if you ever go to California in the Presidio area, I heard that they opened the company store to the public already.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, we need to get some that place infiltrated in some way, and somebody needs to get a camera in there. We want photographs, everybody. So if you're in the area, please do that and send them to us, and we'll share them here. Yeah, well, I think a lot of us are looking forward to getting over to the Lucas Museum as soon as after it's open.
Nice.
But so the three pieces that we just looked at, they were part of the giveaway, and the rules for the giveaway were pretty simple. We launched the sale last week during the last CAF update, and we said you had to make your purchase before midnight on Saturday. So we gave you just a little over 48 hours to make your purchases, and I believe, what was my count? I think we ended up with 63 individual 9x12s purchased in the first 48 hours, which again was a record. 120 in total, so that meant 57 sketch cards were also ordered, and they had no reason at the time to do it. But I mean, sketch cards are super popular too, so it was a great first 48 hours. But I've put every name. I did pull the orders, and I've got every name in here, and I've got one of those wheels of names that we can share here. So let me share that screen. Find it. Where are you? I've got a lot of windows open here. There you are. There. So there it is. That's 63 names, and you can see your names in there. A lot of people bought multiples. I think if I sorted A to Z, you can see there's kind of a
nice
pop-up ad too. Let's close that. Several folks bought a couple, and a lot of solo ones. A lot of names I've seen before, so I appreciate the repeat buyers for that. So which one we'll go in the order, right? We could do the JP one first.
Yep.
All right, let's see who is going to get the Gigzilla Batman versus Clayface.
Well, I can't stare at it too much. It's like hypnotizing me.
Oh, Stefan
Perez. Congratulations.
Nice.
It's not a Cyclops, but it'll do. Congrats.
Oh, it's not Savage Land Cyclops?
No, it's not. It's not. But I bet you that's one of his requests. So, all right.
Oh,
so
no, I was meaning about the request. Like, I'd be surprised if the request wasn't Savage Land Cyclops.
Oh, I'd be totally surprised if it wasn't. But as everybody knows, the great thing about the Wheel of Names is, we only let one person per win, so I get to remove all instances, and I know that he was on there a couple times. So now
great. I'm glad he's in the chat. Glad you got to see it. Congratulations.
Perfect. Congrats, man. All right. So next up would be the Lan Medina Black Cat with Spider-Man. So let's see who's going to get that one. Alan.
And congratulations to Alan.
Congrats, Alan.
All right. Boy, Alex Gonzalez was really close there. It
was. It's like watching what is it, Wheel of Fortune.
Right. I'm going to shuffle this up. Let's do a shuffle and a shuffle. This way we like really randomize it. Look at that. You shuffle it, you get a bunch of ads. We'll close that too. All right. So here we go. Everything's been reshuffled for the final one, and let's go ahead.
This is for the Roy Mercado King Daredevil.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, Alex got it this time.
Close on the last one. All right, congrats to all to Stefan, Alan, and Alex. Wonderful. There we go. We did it. The first giveaway is down in the first week after the first week of sales for Mystery Sketch. Let me hide this window. But
so I'll send it to Bill along with the other mystery sketches that will be completed.
Exactly. I will be the one handling shipping those out. So those will come in probably, I mean, you usually get the first package to me within like 10 days, I think, of Cal. somewhere around in there. Yeah, I'm trying to commit you to something, Jiggy, but yeah, either way, I'll be handling shipping those out.
And then, Bill, I actually missed something last November. So there's this particular collector. Did you get any of my stuff from Bill? Did he assign any of my requests? So I didn't get that November, but I did get it today, this morning. I'm like, nope, I haven't had a list from Bill yet. So I just wanted to say hi to Mr. Alberto Gonzalez. I missed your messages asking about mystery sketches.
Yes, I have. Well, like I said, I was waiting until I thought I might get to it today, and I just couldn't get into being able to do the assignments. But tomorrow, I'm actually completely free. I blocked out an hour to pull the lists and start divvying things out. So you and Tatiana and several other people will be getting the first wave of assignments.
Well, now that you've said that out loud, something's going to happen tomorrow.
I hope not. I hope not. But no, I've been wanting to. And the thing is, so, the reasons Tatiana's here is because we have our second giveaway to announce. And, it's, this is 2. And we will have an announcement, I believe, every week leading up to the kickoff event, the day before the whole weekend for Comic Con Live starts off. So plenty more of these to come. But Tatiana, when we were talking last week, you had come up with the idea. Well, why don't you tell everybody what we're going to give away as a second giveaway, that this will be drawn next week as well.
Sure. And I just saw Alberto complaining in the chat about there not being any giveaways for sketch card collectors. So don't worry, we've considered everyone. Those of you who came by the booth at OAX might have seen that we launched our first ever sketch card binder. So it's the 2026 TD Art sketch card binder with art by Charles Holbert, who was in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but he was. And so for this giveaway, you get the binder, you get all of the pages. So the pages are the dividers are the Superman drop from last year, the Spider-Man drop from last year, the 2 drops that are coming this year that I haven't announced yet. So whoever gets it will get to see those early. And then the last tab in the binder is the tab for mystery sketches and commissions. So it says mystery or commission on it. So you have a place to keep your mystery sketches. And so the winner will get this, and they will also get a classic Spider-Man that was from the Spider-Man drop last year.
And there you go, by Ryan Otogawa.
Yep.
No, that's
awesome. Bill, tell them so it's people who order a sketch card, and Bill can tell you more about the details on the timing and everything on that.
I can. Whoops. Hey, you're still full screen. Yes. So as Alberto just asked, that sketch card collectors don't, that they weren't in the running for that one. You weren't, but the thing is, you're in the running for this one. Anybody who bought a sketch card beginning at the beginning of the sale, and I guess, should we run it for the whole next 7 days, Tatiana, or should we do a 48-hour window with for this one as well?
That's a good question. Let's give them 48 hours.
Okay, so anybody who already bought a sketch card or buys a sketch card in the next 48 hours, so we'll go to midnight Eastern Standard Time. Heck, we'll go midnight Pacific on Saturday nights. We will count you in the giveaway for this, and we'll do the drawing on Thursday as well. Yeah, I think the 48-hour thing works well. Gives people some,
Pacific.
Yeah, we're going with Pacific this time, not Eastern. I think, PayPal's on the West Coast. Whenever I download their spreadsheet, it's in PST. So I might as well just stick to that. It'll make things a little bit easier. I realized that today when I downloaded it, I was like, son of a gun. I have to cut this off at 9. All right. Okay. But all right. So Alberto says he's tempted to add more. Yes, but Alberto, it'll just make you complain more if you don't win. So just remember that. But there will be other giveaways, absolutely, and a lot of them will be. So we might have a couple more that are timed with a very specific window. Others that will be more open-ended, because I know a few of the other giveaways that we'll be doing, and they'll be ones that span the whole 6-week window, not just a small window as well. Jason, Derek, time is coming up. Don't you worry. but thank you, Tatiana, for contributing that, and of course to Ryan as well, and Jiggy, thank you for doing it with your team. I mean, obviously, it's you both have supported Mystery Sketch since the very beginning of doing these, by having your artists take part in them, and it's grown, right? I think that first Mystery Sketch we might have only had about 110 sales, so we went over 400 in November, and we have high expectations for this one as well. But you guys have been there since the beginning, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys supporting it, your team supporting it, and of course everybody else who has too. But you guys are here on screen with me, so I get to send my love to you both directly. But what were you holding up there, Jiggy? I saw something in your hands.
Thank you, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Jason's waiting for Derek time, but I just wanted to say that the Superman Upper Deck cards dropped yesterday, and PJ Katakutan is one of the artists who was selected to join this particular set. And we unveiled some of the cards last night over at Matt Lowenstein's channel. I just wanted to show the people of the CAF community here PJ Katakutan's card art.
That's awesome.
So this is Superman's Greatest Battle. We got Mr. Miracle.
Oh, I love that one.
I got some New Gods too. Big
nice.
Barda.
Gorgeous.
And one of my favorites is a Granny Goodness with a Dark Side statue at the back.
Nice.
So the cards came out yesterday, and check it out. PJ wanted to drop like 4 a week starting next week. So if you're a Superman fan, subscribe to our newsletter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would perfect. James says that he needs to do a Maxima for Derek. But we love PJ here, obviously. He's so talented, and I love his work, and such a nice guy. It's great that he's on your team.
I think I got at least 2 hugs from PJ at OAX. It was awesome.
Oh man, that's 2 more than I got. But how many did you get?
Me also, Bill. 2 more than.
Oh man. Well, what do you have anything you could show off, Tatiana, art-wise from your team? Nothing dropping anytime soon. I know that you.
Well, I mean, I've dropped a bunch of stuff, but I didn't think to bring anything with me to show here. I need to check if that set's the one. I know Ryan Otogawa was on an upcoming Batman set, so I have to check if he's on that one.
Okay.
And I do have artists on other upcoming sets. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, that's awesome. That's always a good thing. All right. Well, so mystery sketch time, everybody. Remember, you need to buy a sketch card in the next 48 hours, and anybody who's already bought one will be included in this giveaway. I will make sure that I get the sketch. I might as well put that link back in the chat too, right? I will have this page updated later tonight. I guess as soon as the show is over, I'll go in and add Tatiana's TD art binder in there as well, and get Ryan. I think he sent me a decent image with Ryan's artwork on it, right? I think I'll have to double check, but I'll get it on the screen, and maybe we'll even list the winners on there for each time. That'll be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Charles Holbert's looking forward to doing more TD art sketch card drops, Tatiana. We haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting I'm going to be doing some special stock for each drop, and the next drop's going to be pretty big, so I'm not saying what it is though.
Okay. All right, but I do know, like I mentioned, that you did just do an art drop today with X-Men related artwork, and I know that Nightcrawler was the focus. I read the email. I didn't get a chance to look at the art yet, but go over to tdartgallery.com, everyone, and check it out before the night is over. And Jiggy, and so you've got it. What do you got coming up? Anything major?
Oh, we're coming back for your big birthday bash.
Oh, that's
live stream.
We do have that, and I have it on the schedule already too. That's on that's next Saturday, April 18th.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be 58 years young. So yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a fun night. It's a vehicles theme, right?
So I got questions like, are Transformers considered vehicles? I'm like, I'll allow it.
You're like, yeah, 50% of the time.
Right, exactly. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Mhm.
The graphic that you sent me that had about 7 of the artworks on it looked intriguing. There was Rick on a horse. That's a vehicle. You saw like an old Studebaker or something
Yeah,
with
that's John Amore being John Amore. Like, uh, what can you do? He also made a vid. He made a video for himself, promoting the mystery sketch event. So go to our Instagram. It's hilarious. Check it out.
Thank you for doing that. We're gonna start pulling together some materials for all the artists that are participating on Mystery Sketch to just keep pushing the word out there, the good word about Mystery Sketch. But awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on tonight.
Thank
I mean,
you.
we've got
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess I'll see you next week, Jiggy and Tatiana. You've got a wedding to go to, so you're busy for the next almost next couple weeks. It seems like you've
Well,
got
I
so much
fly
going
out
on.
tomorrow, so that wedding's this weekend.
It's this
And then,
weekend. Okay.
yeah. So that'll be for those of you who go to OAX. It's my buddy Brian who helps with the show, and then also helps at my booth at the show. He's getting married this weekend, and so I'm flying out.
Brian's
Congratulations to Brian.
Yeah,
Brian's the
I'm really
best.
excited. Yeah, very excited for him. So I'm looking forward to that. If we get any good photos, maybe I'll share.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you'll be on. You're going to be on with me. Well, are you going to be available next Thursday to come on?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm only gone just for the weekend. It's just a real short trip. Yeah.
Got it. Well, all right. Well, listen, thank you both once more.
Thank you.
You know, I'll see you both again real soon, and let's keep promoting the mystery sketch as much as we can to everybody out there, and let's set a new record by the time we're done with the sales.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yep. Good night.
Thank
Oh, I cut Jiggy off in the middle of a thank you. Sorry, Jiggy. But all right, everybody. So lots more things to talk about, and I haven't been able to keep track of the chat. Sorry about that. But I know you guys are all having a good time talking amongst yourselves about many different things. Let's see. I'm just looking through my topics here. I know I've got. I'm going to show you the. Everybody wanted to see a mobile presentation of the app of the website. Sorry, which I will do my best to show off. I know there's been a lot of interest in, like, how that works. I actually had somebody contact me. What was it? They were asking why they couldn't get to the mobile friendly version of the website, and I had to coach them through removing that classic mode setting that a lot of people like and that we had set as a default. So I know there's still questions out there from everyone. So let me see if I can fire up this piece of software that I have on here. And I did see somebody was paying attention to CAF. About an hour before the show, I did post an artwork drawn by Derek Crabb, who will be joining me for the art picks very shortly, that he had drawn for my daughter Emma. So a character from Dan to Dan. And I think I was going to post the Charizard piece, Derek, but I'm holding that one back for a special occasion. that one's nobody has seen, and it's spectacular. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait for that. All right, let me fire up this software package thing here. And I know a lot of people have been talking about that art theft and stuff. I mean, I'd say for people is, there's some. I've been following the News From Me blog just like everybody else. I've gotten emails on the side about it, people asking questions. All I can say is follow Mark's blog, and I'm sure you'll probably be more on top of it than anyone of us here at CAF. But yeah, I can post a link to that. There was a lot of people saying, well, what art was in it, and he's documented a lot of it. If you're not following along over there, that's a good place to check it out. Mark's been blogging a long time. I tried to get him on the show for an interview about a year ago, and he set himself into he was like, I'm not doing any more live stream interviews. I've done enough of them. So I don't know if I'll ever get him on, but he'd be an interesting guy to talk to. His time in the comic business is kind of legendary, and he's a friend to many current and past creators. So yeah, Steve, you can just follow that link and read it. So here, let me see. I think, did this thing? Okay, it actually worked. Son of a gun. All right. Let me see if I can share the screen here. I happen to be in Eric De Los Santos's gallery. Let's see. Gosh, sorry, this is too Too strange. All right, showing up black. Why is it showing black? It's showing not black on mine. Oh, see, I tell you, technology. Let's see. Let me pull it out. Try it again. Stop the screen. Start it again. Everything's looking good. It looks fine on my computer. But let's see what happened when I share the screen again. Huh. Let's see. Why does it do that? No, maybe I'm not going to be able to share the screen. That's weird. It's just showing up as black, even though I'm looking right at the Wolverine as the cover image for Eric's calf gallery, which I know he went in and managed that all himself. Let me see if I do a full screen. Will it show it that way? Oh, that's going to be too tiny for you guys if I show it like that. Yeah, I have an ultra wide monitor, and I wonder why it won't. It doesn't want to work that way. Nope. Okay, let's see how tiny this is going to look when oh no, I can't do this. It's even got me on the screen. Kezra, you can get him on. Let's make it work, because I really did try about 14, 15 months ago, and he said he was just kind of burned out from doing live stream interviews and whatnot, wanted to take a break, but I would love to get him back on, and maybe, clearly there's a lot we could talk about. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to share this screen. It sucks, because I'm looking right at it. Look right there. See, you can see I'm looking right at the what's on my phone, and you can see Eric's calf gallery, and yeah, everything on there. So what you see in the middle of your screen, very small, is the Comic Card Fans website running mobile friendly on my phone. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and it's underneath your profile. You can either turn on the mobile friendly version of the website, or you can turn on the classic view of the website, which is not the classic design for the website. That classic mode just lets you look at calf without any mobile friendly trappings. So it's pretty straightforward as far as setting on it goes. I'm sorry you have to look at it on such a tiny screen though. But if I were to go underneath the edit profile settings here, see, this is where you, just for those of you who didn't know, that's where you manage your cover image in your calf gallery or your avatar. But down there in the settings, there is a classic mode checkbox. If I just go in and check that, which I just did, and I hit update profile, ta-da! I'm now in the old-fashioned, non-mobile friendly world that Comic Card Fans used to exhibit. That's basically all it does, is it straight up turns off the the mobile friendly view of the site. And a lot of people like that. They got so used to pinching and zooming like this, so that they would go in and just look at their watch list. Then they'd scroll down and be like, all right, which dealers are classified people recently updated? Oh, okay, great. Albert Moy did an art drop today. That's awesome. And then just kind of click around, and just, people just got used to doing it. And it's, so there you have it. I mean, that's what you get. I wish I could show you more. I'll have to figure out why the sharing function isn't working, because it's working here, but when I shared just that screen, it was black. But that's the key feature for those of you who would rather not be in a mobile friendly world. You'd rather just see the site like that, and you were happy pinching and zooming all day long. Hey, we aim to please. And one of the things I can tell you is that we are listening to the thoughts and things that people have sent us. We've been making some subtle changes. Since this phone is so small, I'm not going to show it to you here, but like one of the things that was kind of a glaring omission was not putting the gallery room at the top of gallery piece. Like, everybody was so used to just being able to get to a piece of artwork and easily hop over and be able to know what room you were in somebody's gallery. So we added that in there and did some formatting changes. Let's see, I can just show a couple things here real quick before I move on to our next segment. So yeah, look at that Stingray. Stingray's getting a lot of attention for that Stingray he picked up off of Gentleman Jim not too long ago. So congrats on that, Newell. And look, Jim's posting right now. 5 people in the last 17 minutes have updated their calf. But I made a point of posting that artwork with Derek, so we could see that I actually do get notifications set up on here. So let's see what are people doing over there. I can't even imagine what they might be commenting on. Or see, we got Alberto and Brian Norton have both left comments on my artwork just recently. So thank you guys. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that we've been modifying was when you get to the piece of art, we put the gallery room up here that used to not be here, and we've tightened some stuff up. So it makes it a lot easier to just get in and look at the artwork. And there's going to be some changes to, some of the other result sets, I guess. We're going to make some subtle updates there that tighten things up a little bit more. I know that a lot of people feel with the mobile friendly layout, there's a little bit too much white space, but I can promise you that, like within here, we're going to tighten things up just a little bit. We're not going to make the images any smaller. We're sticking with the 300 pixel tall image here, but we're going to tighten things up, reduce some of the font sizes a little bit to kind of bring things together a little bit more. And I think, moving it a little bit closer to I wouldn't even say what we had before, but it looked better. We all kind of looked at it as a team and said, yep, that looks great. Yeah, see, Margaret, you were looking for that gallery room link at the top. Fix the apostrophe. All I was going to tell you, Jason, was I tried everything upside and down, and I couldn't make it do what yours did. So you'll have to call me tomorrow and walk me through what you did, because you're Jason D'Ambrosio. If you can find a way to break it, you will. And I appreciate that. And hey, that's what friends are for. But yeah, so that's where we're at. That's where I'm at right now, and just expect things to keep evolving. But damn it, the site's beautiful. I'm telling you guys, I'm so happy we're finally here. We have something to build off of that that I think people will appreciate. And that dark mode. I've gotten a few comments from people that say, when I used to look at CAF, while I was going to bed, that my spouse would always give me hell because they're looking at artwork. Now they switch it to dark mode, and they don't, they're not like blinding their significant other while they're doing trying to go to bed or whatever, go to sleep. So there we go. Why would I ask? I'm asking. Hey, I like asking Jason for advice. He's a friend. 44 likes. Nick Barucci, welcome. Hey, good to see you. Pete Pisano, you're gonna have to explain to me how you're doing the apostrophes, because I tried it from a Mac, which of course usually has, it can have apostrophe issues. Single and double quotes can cause problems sometimes, but I went on my iPhone and did it. I went on a iPad and tried to do what Jason showed me, and went into Safari, on my Mac right beside me, and could not get it to do it. So yeah, so I've tried it. But I'd have to find the instance. At any rate, we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it all out. All right, scratching things off my list here. I got a video. I got a Page I Love video that I've got to show off, that Kevin Sharp put together with Craig Rousseau, who actually has a piece of art that Derek picked in his art picks. So there's a tie-in here somewhere somehow. So see, Robert, so it's something you pasted from another, from something else. So that's the thing. It's like strange things can happen when you paste text from something else into another thing. But we'll figure it out. It is what it is. We'll get to the bottom of it and resolve it and correct any data that might have gone in a weird way. James says that Jason is still using a flip phone. Well, that might be his problem. But anyways, back to this. Page I Love, Craig Rousseau. Kevin Sharp delivered this one about a week ago. I just didn't have a chance to pull it together. Plain text is best. You got that right there. All right, let me go ahead and wait a minute. I don't even have it loaded up in here. How is that even possible? No, I did have it in here. It's just not showing up. That's weird. Let me find, why is it not in here right now? Son of a gun. I got everything queued up, and then it's not here. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to skip on this one for now. Kevin Sharp, I'm sorry, I don't know where the heck I put it. It's not in the folder that I saved it to earlier. How is that possible? I'll dig it out and figure out where it ended up going. But I guess I'm gonna do what I was gonna do next, and that was show off what Michael Finn sent me. He was very generous, and he wanted to get a copy of his Frazetta book out to I know Kazra got a copy, and I got one. I have not opened mine yet, so, but I did cut all the seams, so we can just dive right in and take a look at it. I did get a look at this at OAX, and it was still in its early stages. Oh, this is nice. Oh boy, let's get this thing here. Nice and heavy. So early work from Frazetta, and yeah, Snowman was one of his earliest strips. Look at that. Thank you for supporting this book and using CAF to do so. Yeah, we had Michael on with Sarah Frazetta because he worked with Sarah on this book as well. But no, this came out beautiful. I got to see a very rough copy of it months ago. But Michael, thank you. This is gorgeous. So one thing I got to do is Michael, you got to get me some links so I can promote how people can buy this. So please, if I don't hear from you by tomorrow, I'll reach out and get the info so that we can let everybody else know where they can pick up the book. But a lot of great reproductions in here, and I know Michael put a lot of effort into this. He managed to buy a lot of the artwork that was revealed in this book. So lucky him. He continues to find those gems from the early days of strip art, and this time by Mr. Frazetta. So and Peter says he picked one up from Michael at OX. And there you go. Which Jusco book was that, Robert? I'm not sure, but either way, there you go. Very nice, and I appreciate that, Michael. Where are we gonna put this? See, running out of space here in the office. All right. Okay, it didn't drop. Let's see here. That was that. I'm gonna have to dig around and figure out where that page I love is, but I can do it. I can do it while I'm showing off the schedule here. Let me go ahead and find the slide for that. Where did that go? All right, so lots of stuff on here. Some of it we've already seen a few different times, I think. We got a illustration signature preview next week. We got Dave Pisano coming on Tuesday. We've got the amateur match. Can we call Jordan and Jason amateurs anymore? I don't even know if that's a fair thing, to be able to call them anymore, because both of them have been on quite a few amateur matches already. I think Jordan's up to like 14 or 15. So he's done quite a few of these, and Jason's been on at least 4 or 5. So I mean, again, it's hard to call Jason an amateur, but that'll be next Wednesday on tax day, no less. So I saw the last email that Jordan sent out, and he's got a wide range of stuff for sale. So there'll be very affordable stuff and a few higher price things, but that'll be a fun sale. Then we'll have the show with Jiggy on Saturday. We'll have, I don't know who from the team will be with us, but it'll be a good time on the 18th. It'll be a vehicle theme. Then we got Berkey the following week, a few other interviews. We're going to be doing a Jeff Moy art drop on a Wednesday, everybody. The last Wednesday in April, the 29th, will be, Jeff will be on. He's already sent me some art. So those who collect Legion, Legion of Superheroes, some of you may have heard that title. Jeff did work on that book a while back, and he does have some originals that he's going to be bringing from that. So I know, Margaret, you might be happy. So will a few other folks when they get to see what Jeff is bringing for that. Now, the one we got 2 sales on here that we've not really been able to talk about. The first one is going to be on Saturday, May 2nd. For those of you who went to OAX, you might remember the 2 brothers, Berlioz brothers, Arnaud and Bertrand. Well, Bertrand is going to be joining me all the way from Europe for a 2:00 show. He is coming to the States the following week to go to the Graphics Con. So he was going to be offering some exclusive pieces to the channel before he arrives. Kind of in the hope of, it'll make it easy for him to either ship it, or if you're actually going to Graphics Con, you'll be able to pick it up from him directly. But as many of you know, Bertrand was the gentleman who had all the Paul Smith X-Men artwork, some incredible Starlin Warlock pieces. Trying to remember all the stuff he had, but it was a treat. And so he has promised that he'll have affordable pieces and some high-end pieces as well. So I have no idea. He has not given me any direction on what he's going to bring, but I can guarantee you, whatever it is, it's going to be really cool to see, even if you're not in the market for it. So that's going to be a very fun show. We're going to have the third match between Matt and Anthony, since they've now split 2 consecutive matches, with Matt clobbering him last night and Anthony beating him the time before that they did this. But then maybe the most interesting show of all, and we're going to hype the heck out of this one for the next 2 months, is Albert Moy going up against Dino Mauricio and Dan Poddick. So that's going to be interesting. Dino and Dan approached me with the idea, and they said they wanted to go up against Albert. And in my heart, I thought Albert's just going to say no. And he actually replied back. He was like, absolutely, just pick a date that I can do it. And so we kicked some things around, and we didn't want to have it anywhere near Comic Art Live, of course. So Mid-May was out, and I think he's traveling to Como and a few other shows prior to that. So we settled on June 10th. So that'll be a Wednesday night, and it's gonna be fun. Every time we have Albert on for a sale, the bandwidth is stretched to the max around here, and it just makes for a really, really, really enjoyable time. I mean, I remember the first time I did a battle between what was it? It was Mike and Albert. We had like 450 people watching that show live. It was fun and scary, and one of the most exciting times I've ever had live on the channel before. So yeah, I hope people can join in on that one. I know it's going to be one that, even if you're just sitting there with a bowl of popcorn, you're going to enjoy getting to see those 3 have at it. So Newell says I can't afford any of this special. It is kind of like a Christmas special in its own weird little way, but promise me you'll have I promise you will have a very good time doing that. And it's funny, I'm actually trying to dig out that Page I Love video, and Premiere isn't even cooperating with me on where we're making it easier for me to find it. So I'm just giving up on it. I'm like saying, no way, we're not doing it. An all Stingray round would be interesting, James. Maybe we can arrange that. Maybe Dino and Dan have some Stingray art that they've socked away that no one knows about, but probably not. All right. Well, I got everything scratched off except for the Page I Love segment that I've clearly botched. And Derek, if you're still out there, man, you can pop in now. I told Derek he can swing in to the show as soon as I show this slide. So here it is. Here's this moment. But I have to tell everybody, I'm not going to do it, but they actually integrated something into StreamYard where we can actually do polls now live. At least it says we could do polls. Now, a package arrived here at the house today, and it's from Marcus. Marcus always sends me a birthday package. Now, because my birthday is not until the Saturday after next, I'm not going to open it till next Thursday. But I thought I would do a quick experiment with this poll option, because again, it just appeared today. It was definitely not there yesterday, so it may be buggy. It might not even work. I don't know what's going to happen. But I created a poll that said, should I open the package from Marcus tonight? Option 1 says hell yes, and option 2 says heck no. So I'm going to click create because I'm curious what's going to happen. See if this is anything that we can actually ever use. Okay, so it says start and show. All right, so how do you, I'm not even looking at the chat. Did it give, let's see, what does it do? Type 1 or 2 in the chat. Oh, so you actually just type a number into the chat and it would work. Somebody do something. Do it. Come on, I want to see this thing work. All right. Come on, somebody's got to put a 2 in there, for crying out loud. Oh, I did email Derek. Did Derek not? Derek must not have checked his email. I'll put it in his. I'll send it to him on Facebook. I can do it that way too. I know he and I were communicating through the Facebook chat in the lead up to the show. See, we get some no's in there, but clearly this thing works. Okay, so polls are not anonymous. Not in this case, Robert. Not in this case. Here, I see Derek's chat. I could throw a link over there for him. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so polls do work, but it doesn't look like it has a count in there, though, does it? It just gives you a percentage. Interesting. Okay. Well, we know it works. So if we ever want to do a poll, I can have more than just 2 options to vote on. So Okay, cool. Well, we have we have something else new. Yeah, there you go. We don't need Slido anymore. That's true. What did the professor vote? I wonder. Did he cast a vote? Oh boy. Well, let's see. I see Derek in the green room. He's ready and raring to go. Derek,
Hey,
welcome
what's
back,
going
man.
on? Yeah, it's good to be here. I was looking forward to this like all week. So,
Sorry,
uh,
I sent it via email and I thought, I wonder if that's the right thing to do. So
it's probably not your fault. I think I had like a metric crap ton of email that I just deleted. So maybe I just accidentally didn't see that one or something. So no big deal.
all right. Well, so even though everybody wants me to open the package from Marcus tonight, we will not do it. We will wait until next Thursday. But it did arrive safe and sound, Marcus. I even shook it a little bit to make sure there was nothing broken in it, and it's rock solid. So, yeah. So we'll open that next Thursday. So how do you stop the poll? I guess that's the next question here. Oh, there it is. There is. Oh, look at this. You can actually move it around. Okay. Oh, so configurable. And you can hide it and you can stop it. Okay, it's stopped, everybody. You don't need to vote anymore. No, and now I can see the scores here. 15 voted yes, 9 voted no. So that means that 50 of you in the chat did not vote at all. So thank you for not playing along with us
Guilty.
this evening. You were one of them. So what's new with you, Professor? It's you're always in the chat keeping us informed, making sure that that there's not any aspect of the history of comics that would ever go unanswered correctly. What's new?
I've been trying to figure out how to describe winding down from OAX. I feel like I've just been like nursing a beer after like a really great hangover or whatever. Because I think like after OAX, I did a toy show in San Jose, and then the week after that, I went to TFCon in like Burbank, Los Angeles, and stuff. So I got to do a little art sleuthing there, and then I ended up going to SatCon. I ran into Tariq. We got to hang out for a little while, and then I picked up a couple pieces of art and everything. So that, I mean, I felt like instead of it just being like a total like rip off the Band-Aid thing, it was like I was slowly. Now I'm in April. I'm like, okay, I got to do some adulting, but this is fun. This is a good way to still do the art stuff, and then I for
You
anybody
went
that's
all out
watching.
too, because you picked alt. You had 10 alternative pieces, 10 primary pieces. I mean, you were prepared.
Yeah,
You
I
did a good
wasn't
job.
sure, so I basically like, and the other thing too is if people want, like, I just made a favorites gallery live, and I sort of messed up because I started looking on Sunday, like the first Sunday, but
Mhm.
everything in that favorites gallery that I could save as a favorite, I was like, oh, I like this. So if I didn't pick your art tonight and you're bummed, like maybe go into that I don't know 140 whatever it is gallery, and maybe that'll make you feel better. I don't know. I thought all of the art was really cool, so it was fun to get a chance to go through it all, and I did try to go through it all. So
It is a lot of work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, no, but hey, but so you saw I posted the drawing you did for Emma.
yeah.
Where's
That's super cool. Like
right there. See, we showing it off for everybody.
I'm always trying to think of like what, because I know like your family, like when I talk to them, I know they like anime, and I know, I at least I don't always watch all the anime, but I specifically was told check out Dan to Dan. It's really cool, and it was an awesome show, and like the manga's awesome and everything like that. So I figured, oh, okay, I bet you, and I think you talked about it one night where you were talking about how you watched it and stuff together with your family and stuff, and you were like saving episodes. So I was like, oh, this
Mhm.
will be cool. And I like Okaroon. Like he's a cool character, and then he's kind of like the Flash in this mode, like the Turbo Granny mode or whatever. So he's like a speed demon running around like crazy. So anyway, I thought it was cool.
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. And it makes me more curious about what my daughters watch. 'Cause that was the only one that they let me like watch with them for the last year. But at any rate, we appreciate that. I think I still have Maureen's to post, which I
Okay. Okay.
character. What is that character?
It's Ice Warrior from Doctor Who, because I was like,
Right.
I remembered from last time you said that Maureen liked Doctor Who stuff, and I was trying to think of stuff that's like fun, and it's like, I'll be honest, like it's easier for me to draw monsters because you don't get like hung up on like if they look ugly, because you're like, dude, it's a monster, right? Like it's like you can't mess up a monster, right? So I was like,
Right.
okay, I was like, I'm gonna do an Ice Warrior because that'll be fun. So
Well, thank you for doing them. And yeah, I don't know if I posted those post-it note ones that you gave me at the first OAX. I know I mean I have them, but I'm gonna have to go check. Get some more Derek Crab art on
yeah,
CAF. I mean, if we click your name, I mean, how many pieces are on there?
I don't
Oh,
know,
there's a few.
10,
20 it says. I mean,
oh,
let's see.
20.
Look, we got
Okay.
a stingray. Well, you were busy, weren't you? Look at this.
Yeah, I took a giant commission list that nobody knew I took. I don't know. I was trying to have fun, and I like I don't know. I like coming up with stuff like that. So I figured if people get a kick out of it, it's worth it. Like when you know, number one Marvel fan sees that and freaks out over it, or you know, Tyler T saw his thing because it was the stuff with like the Infinity Zinglet that he was making fun of. So I
Mhm.
did art of it. So it's like, I don't know. It's fun, right? Like, and you know, it's a way to like share that appreciation with everybody else, right? Like,
Right.
and come up with, I know Snorik was like, oh, come up with like Obscura or whatever to post this week, and hopefully I've made some pics that have some Obscura attached to them or whatever, and fulfill his mandate too, you know.
Well, you made a lot of people happy at OAX this year. That's the fun thing. I saw a lot of people giving sketch cards out, as gifts. I mean, we know that Jeff Wedding is notorious for that.
Yeah,
Uh, I heard a lot.
I'm actually I wish I could have picked them all. I think they're all in my favorites, but I think like I have FOMO over like Ulan drawings. Like I think I had FOMO over like Cox family drawings because I was like, oh, this is like super cool. Like because I was seeing all the like Star, because I'm sure Jeff was just like, pick a Star Wars character that you like, you know, and so
Mhm.
seeing like everybody get to like do, you know, whether it's like Chewbacca or Ahsoka Tano or whoever, like those were all like great. Like I was like, those were cool. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing it. It's definitely fun. And I tried to work. I was going to work the Dan T image of you into something today in the mailing, and I just ran
oh,
out of
okay.
time. Yeah, but that's just too classic. I don't know how did he had a knack for getting a person's persona. Like,
Well, I mean,
wow.
I know we were like sharing like photos and stuff in the chat, so I think that's, I put in like the additional notes. I was like, oh, this is where, you know, this is what he was inspired by. Basically, I think it was like that was the weekend after the first OAX where I was like walking the floors of MegaCon, and that was my like grumpy, like there's no carpeted floors, like you have to wait in gigantic lines, and it's, you're packed in like sardines. So that was my kind of like, this is not OAX, like kind of shaking my fist at clouds look or whatever that he managed to capture rather wonderfully. I feel like he captured my weariness. You know, I was like, you know, anyway, that's I do really love that piece. So
No, same here. All right, man. Well, we got a calf update to do here.
all right.
We don't get to the picks right away. I've got just a couple things to go over. Now, you sent me that art of manga video. What was that from? Because
Oh,
that wasn't that a
so
show that was it's over, or is it
yeah,
still?
it ended a little while back, and so it was at the De Young Museum in San Francisco, and so they basically had a bunch of the manga um, artists, and well, I guess, you know, it was like exhibits of their work, right? So it's
Mhm.
like from my understanding, I mean, maybe not all the time, but a lot of manga artists don't necessarily sell their art. So it's like there were different galleries of all the
Mhm.
various artists and pieces. And like some of them I was really familiar with, and some of them, you know, for me, like my manga knowledge is not, you know, extensive. So sometimes there were things that I was introduced to for the first time, or maybe I know it because it's popular, but I've never actually, you know, kind of like you, maybe you heard of it, but you've never actually like sat down and read the manga or watched the anime that's associated with it. But I thought it was like a cool exhibit, and it was interesting to see, like, you know, basically they had, you know, just all kinds of rooms set up where people could either see the art. Some of it was colored, some of it wasn't. It depended on how the artist did it, and it sort of was historical too, because some of it was from the early 50s or whatever, and then some of it was more. I guess manga I'm more familiar with, like from the 80s and 90s, but then there was some really modern stuff from I'd say like this century. So it seemed to encompass everything. Like there was cool paintings of like Bleach, but there was also like really cool stuff from like Inuyasha or Ranma, like things like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, why don't we play it? It was only a minute long. Did you shoot the video?
Yeah. I was doing kind of what you were saying. I was because people were kind of yelling or what. It's like in some rooms they're like, "You're not supposed to be here" or whatever when they figure out what you're doing. But I'm just like, whatever. I infiltrated and got some nice video for everybody. So
all right, cool. Well, let's look at that, and then we'll get on with the show. I think that exhibit ran for quite a while, right? It was 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to end in like January, but then they extended it, to further through February because I think they had such a positive response to everything. It was funny because I think I bought, some of the friends I went with, I bought some Inuyasha manga from Half Price Books, but then it was funny because they felt weird because when you come out the end, right, they want to sell you like everything, so they have a big gift shop and like all that stuff was there, so it was funny. So the person I gave it to was like hiding it or whatever, and I'm like, no, you're fine, like it's fine, I paid for it, like, so.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for providing that. And a reminder, we used to do these all the time when we were coming out of the pandemic. People would send in video clips and photographs, and we'd pull it all together. So if you see an interesting show, whether it's at a gallery, a museum, if it involves the narrative arts, please, we're always happy to share something on the channel. So shoot it horizontal, like you saw Derek do that there. And you don't have to go through and edit it all yourself. You can just send me the raw material and we'll put something together for it. But we always appreciate getting content like that. And that reminds me, we haven't gotten a weekly flip or a calf cribs video in a long time. We need something there. If I don't get one soon, I'm going to have to do one. I've still got a couple portfolios that I haven't put on calf. So maybe I'll have to do one for next week. We'll see. All right. Well, I still can't find that Page I Love segment. I don't know. I exported the video and I didn't export it in the spot I thought. And so I don't know where the hell it is on my computer right now. So that one's going to have to wait till next week. Sorry, Kevin and Craig. But yeah. Marcus, you sent it and put it. I don't even know what you sent me. Oh, that's probably a lie. Marcus is always pulling everybody's leg. All right, let's look at some art here quickly from Heritage. That's part of our thing, and then we can do the EXP video and get on with kind of the fun stuff, doing our picks and things. I'm not going to show that bulldog, but there was a very good bulldog drawn by Derek that's in Jason's calf gallery, done on a coaster, I think.
That was fun. Jason snowed me on that one, but I'll tell you the story later.
All right, so here, we'll go through these over at Heritage kind of quick. What do we got? We have Jack Kirby, Commandy, End Page. The Hollywood Hounds is the title of the next one. But I don't know. I couldn't. Every time I see a good Kirby page, and Roy Rinks, I always enjoy them. I wasn't a big Commandy reader. I read a little bit. You probably read a little bit more than me.
I love Commandy. Like
Yeah.
there was a period I think in like 2007 where I just sat down and like read the whole thing because it's Kirby, it's like Planet of the Apes inspired. Like I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, especially if you I think there's certainly like seeing the issue at OAX was like super awesome, and then anybody who's fortunate enough to have a piece of Commandy art, like it's kind of plain Jack Kirby fun. Like I mean I know it's like post-apocalyptic, but it's like once you get past that portion of it, I think everything else is just kind of like kids that were growing up playing with Planet of the Apes Migos or what have you. Like this is just an exciting adventure to have, and yeah, I think it's really cool.
Tom says you last read it back in 1988. That's a while back. I actually tried to pick some non-Marvel stuff, but I know this next piece is Walt Simonson and Jansen, a Battlestar Galactica page.
By your command.
There was actually some really cool stuff in this week's Heritage Auctions. I was kind of surprised. There was a lot of
man.
Battlestar Galactica.
Imperious leader right there. That panel. That's great.
Mm-hmm. No, I was surprised to see this because you don't see too many Battlestar Galactica pages pop up too often.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good one to see. I mean, I actually put bids on stuff. So this one's at 410. And I decided not to show off anything that I put bids on. But
good. That is how it should be. That should just be all off to the side.
Right.
It's only the poor fools who really want these pages now that are like, cursing the
yes, they're like, doggone it, Bill, why'd you pick that? I tried to get a couple like that. I don't know if I did this time around though. But this is Micronauts 20-page, Pat Broderick, Armando Gill, a nice Ant-Man in there getting picked on by an insect. But I don't know. I always Broderick from this era. I love his stuff, and Armando Gill inks are always nice. So I think it's an awesome page.
Yeah.
And Michael Lark. There's just not enough Michael Lark art in the world. This is from Batman 9 Live, so I don't know anything about it. It looks like a single, maybe it was like a graphic novel because it says these are pages 71 and 72 from it.
Yeah.
But I always love Michael's traditional work. I know he's done a little bit of switched to digital, but this is just great storytelling.
Yeah.
Formats.
I mean, it's not easy. Well, I mean, depending on who you are, right? It's not easy to draw all these cars and have them be period accurate, and then also he's making it a dynamic car chase on paper. Like that's really cool, like so.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I love this. So bid on that one, on that pair. And then this is just a fun one. I've always wanted to get a Rorschach from Gibbons from the era, and here you go. It's it's 89, so a little after the book, but still it's just fun. I mean I was tempted not to post it, but the thing is, people are going to see this. They're going to pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, Rorschach's probably arguably the most popular character in the entire book, and then anytime something like this comes up, right? If you can't get an original page from Watchmen, then it's like this is,
and most of us can't,
and most people can't, right? Then this is something where you definitely want to go gunning for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, and that's what I thought. I'm like, to not show it because I think I want it. I know I'm not going to win it. I could put $2,000 on it. I don't even know what they go for, but I know whatever I put on it, somebody would bid more than me. Probably 4 or 5 or 40 people would bid more than I would.
That seems to be the way of things. But yeah.
But this is a good one. I'm sure it's going to go to a good home. But whoever gets it, please put it on CAF. It's awesome. So then here you look. I picked some DC art, man. Just for you. Cully Hamner on this one. Wade Vaughn, Graw Badger. This is like a pinup, like it's like, yeah, it's a war
I
bonds.
think you're a closet Hawkman fan, Bill. You keep talking about the Kubert page. You keep
Yeah.
picking, some art. I think you don't want people to know, but I think you're a closet
Hawkman,
Hawkman fan.
I'm into it. Maybe it's just because it's kind of like Angel from the X-Men. No, I've never even felt that. But no, I mean the character design on him is classic, and I just thought this was cool. I mean they're using it as a pinup in a Hawkman annual, and they're riffing
I
on
mean,
Cold War.
if you want a done in one of Hawkman, this is perfect, right? Like,
So let's see. Oh, and I stuck with DC for a second one. Bissett, Toddleman, Swamp Thing page.
Swamp Thing. This is,
Just
I think,
gorgeous.
before
Crazy page
more,
layouts.
right?
So often, I didn't read a lot of Swamp Thing, only a little bit, but I mean, every time one of these pages comes up, there's just always something interesting about the way the flow is. I mean, this a circular panel, but then that's kind of
speaking of that, I'll just say, if anybody hasn't backed it or doesn't know about it, they're doing a Tyrant edition that's being crowdfunded, and you can get the full collection, and it's supposed to have like all these, quote unquote DVD extras with that edition. But for fans of this channel, like if all you like is the art, like one of the tiers, I guess, is basically there's an artist edition of it too, where I guess he kept all the original art from Tyrant, which is it was intended to be the chronicling of a Tyrannosaurus Rex from like birth to adulthood and their whole life, and it's just a really, really cool comic. And if you're interested in that, again, ties into this, Bissett art, like I would recommend checking it out.
I just put the link in the chat to that Kickstarter too. I think they're over $250,000 already, but just shows you how much interest is in that, and it's definitely cool to see Bissett kind of back in the public eye in that way.
I think there's the secret like hope where you're like, oh, maybe if this does as well as it has been doing, maybe there'll be more, right? Like a new graphic novel or a follow-up or additional stuff. So that would be cool.
Agreed. I got 3 more here. This one I picked just because it was a fun page. Nestor Redondo, something I have no idea. Modern Comics, Rex Sampson story page. I just love the page, man. This first panel alone is amazing. These weird, merman creatures, attacking these guys. It's just such a cool page, and what year was it? I think it's from like the 50s or something. Just great, great lettering on the page. I love the panel without borders, on the third and the fourth panels like that. Just all around, it's just a solid piece of art, and from a book I have no knowledge of whatsoever.
Hey, if people want to say they stumped me, I don't know what this is from.
We stumped, like, yeah, it's from Modern Comics with a K, Rex Sampson, but it's just it's linked in my my summary for the CAF update if anybody's curious. But I think it's cool.
It looks awesome.
Then this one's actually really neat. This is a set of prelims from Al Jaffe for Mad Fold-ins, and it says there's a group of 21. I didn't look at them all, but I mean, how cool is that? I mean, we're all process junkies, I think, at the end, and then you only just click. Come on, there we go. So they've got a couple different scans, only 3, but I think that's awesome. I mean, I've bid on a few of the Jaffe fold-in finish pieces that they've had up there, but I mean, this might be one I could actually win. And I'd be happy, right? At the end of the day, just to be able to get these. I mean, one of them, I'm right. You get a Darth Vader.
Vader.
That one alone should make this set be pretty popular.
Yep, that's the one that people will probably have their eye on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to keep that one and sell the rest when they get the set in.
break up the set and keep the Vader, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Then I just picked this last one. Gil Kane had his 100th birthday not too long ago, and it's a DC. We get some Batman in there. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, it's classic Kane is from 1969. Jack Abel inks, and the panel with Batman, kind of breaking the border there. It's kind of a weird choice to do it, right? It's so intentional. I'm going to put Batman's feet and knee outside of the panel so much that I've got to make the board, the gutter extra wide, but it doesn't bother me.
No, I mean, usually there's a reason why people, choose to do that or whatever, but maybe it's just to emphasize the, the torment of the person Batman's holding in his arms and all that kind of stuff. But also cool that it's Clayface, right? And it's the kind of OG Clayface, Basil Karlo. He was like the stage actor, and he didn't really have powers or anything. He was just kind of like this Phantom of the Opera-esque, killer or what have you. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Mud Pack. So seeing any kind of Clayface like this, you kind of go, ooh, like that's pretty cool.
Well, you've just educated me more on Clayface. I thought he was always just a big shambling mass of clay.
There are so many damn Clayfaces, Bill. Like there used to be 4 when they came out with Mud Pack, but I think like since then, like there's like 8 or 9 of them or whatever. It's pretty crazy by this point.
Wow. Well, okay. I've learned something. I'm in training right here with you, Derek. All right, awesome. Well, there we go. That's the Heritage Picks. Now we can show the EXP video, which I just got. So I didn't put it in the studio like I normally do, but we're gonna play this one. I haven't
EXP me.
EXP me. That's what everybody should be shouting right now.
Everybody, this Friday, April 10th, the Original Art Experience. We're gonna have original art. We're gonna donate money to a good cause. We're gonna it's going to be a fun show. Got some really cool art. I always do, or at least I try to. And let's just get right into it. But before I do, it's funny. You say, let's get into it, and then you hit that but. Wherever you're watching this promo, hit that thumbs up. Sharing is caring. Now let's get into it. All right. So we are going to have the Savage Tales cover in homage to Marvel feature number 1. This is Roberto Castro in homage to Marvel feature number 1 featuring Red Sonja. We had the Red Sonja one, and I think it sold. Then we have, so this is 2 pieces of art. This is Thunderpuff Girls number 3.
It's just Thundercats and Powerpuff Girls. You don't have to.
Oh, it is.
Or Thunderpuffs. You said like Thunder Girl Puff. You said it backwards.
Oh, did I really?
But that's okay. But I had to say it.
No, that's good. It's good to be corrected when I'm wrong. It's funny. A lot of people hate being corrected when they're wrong. I actually don't mind because hopefully it stops me from sounding more stupid than I already did. So Thundercats Powerpuff Girls number 3. 1, 2, and 4. 2 of them were bought by Rob Wolvie-Fan, and 1 was bought by somebody else, and I can't remember whom. But you also get 2 covers from Ken's fall copies. You get the incentive, and you get the regular cover. That's how they combine. It's really cool the way Ken put it together. Then, been asked for some Jay Lee again. I've got Silverhawks number 10 cover, the last cover to the series. The Mona number 5 cover, the last cover to the series. Let's see if I can put that in there. I was asked to bring back some of the Disney villains, so I'm bringing back this one. Gonna have some cool pricing on this. Then I have a complete issue of Kneel Before Zod. And this is really cool because it is the 100% complete issue. Some really great pages. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to offer the whole book at first, and it's going to be at a great price. And if no one picks up the entire book, then we'll break up the pages and we'll figure out the prices. I'm also going to show covers. Oh, okay, here we go. This is the Red Sonja cover that was also to Savage Tales, but this is in homage to Vampirella number 1. So we had fun with it. But this is available on our Kickstarter. We're going to show other covers that are available on our Kickstarter. We have a Red Sonja Kickstarter going. And as I said, we're going to do a percentage of sales to charities. I think we're going to go with paralyzed veterans. We just got to help where we can. So Friday, tomorrow, April 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and I will see you then.
Oh, where'd you go? That's weird. All right, got that dropped out. Let me get Derek back on here too. That's funny the way that does that. There we go. Much better. So there's the EXP tomorrow, everybody, 7 o'clock. He does it everywhere. He does it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, you name it. Nick Ferrucci is on it. 7 o'clock tomorrow. You're welcome, Nick. All right, so we can move over to the camp update stuff here right now and knock through this real quick. Dealers had an amazing week. My gosh, to be a dealer or a rep these days, March 30th through April 5th, $621,000 in sales for the dealers and reps websites we track. Felix Comic Art led the way, almost $225,000 in sales. Berkey was second, $145,000 in sales. Comic-Con Art. Oh, that's right. He did that one drop. I forgot about that. He 63,000 in sales for him. Comic Art House. Wow. That did they even do a drop? Maybe he was just cleaning up some old sales data. But 61 sales, $48,000 for Comic Art House. Anthony, 45,000. Will, 36,000. Albert Moy, poor Albert Moy, only $27,800 in sales. I think he's doing a drop this week, so he's probably fixing that. He's probably going to make himself be number one. And then even Glenn, 23,000 in sales last week. What was in the water, man?
Well, they got all those Spider-Man, Superman thingamabobs going on, right? I think a lot of those drops, right? Like,
all right. Well, we'll see what the top 6 sales were here for dealers last week that we got. Okay, there you go, 621,000. So first up, the complete absolute Batman issue 14 was sold for $140,000. Hubba hubba. There you go. That leads the charge, as it should. So then you're right. Next up is a Superman Spider-Man DPS, pages 6 and 7 by Jorge Jimenez. This one went for $40,000. I guess he picked the right pages to do traditionally, because that one did rather well. Then over to Ramita Man, Swamp Thing number 2. This is by Bernie Wrightson, of course. It says Swamp Thing and Arcane Swap Bodies. Derek, that's something you'll have to educate me on one day. It happened in 1972. And we've got this Ross Andrew, Jim Mooney, Amazing Spider-Man 175 page, sold by Mike for the asking price of $22,000. Then over to Albert. Yeah, Albert on this one. 7 Soldiers of Victory by Joe Kubert went for $10,000. And the last piece sold was the Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers Compendium 2 cover.
Galvatron!
This one went for $10,000 as well. So there you go. Wow. All right. And well, over at the Auction House World, they did $800,000 in sales, so not too bad for them. They usually, I think you know what? They had a special sale, and we're not going to show those pieces, but there was a like a cover art drop that only had like 40 covers in it.
Yes, I bid and failed.
They keep doing that, and I didn't even. Oh, yeah, there it is. It was a cover art showcase, is what it was called. But the funny thing was, I actually watched it live because there was something I had added to my save list, and it was this Dungeons and Dragons coloring book cover by Greg Irons, and and I'm thinking, that's got to be, not going to sell for a lot. It was the highest price selling item from it. It was $57,500 for basically a coloring book cover.
I'm always shocked. Like, I remember there was a bunch of Ron Zalm color guide type stuff that dropped, and it was a coloring book from my childhood, and I thought, oh, for sure, and it just skyrocketed. So you never know sometimes, right?
Exactly. But yeah, I thought, wow, if that might go for $1,000, I'd be in for it. $57,000 later.
Yeah.
Well out of that one. So let's see here. But I think that was what made up the brunt of that, because the weekly stats from eBay and Heritage Weekly were pretty average. But let's see what the top 3 from each of those was. This one I know was a make offer piece. I didn't have the time to go look. This is was sold on eBay, right? Yeah, this is the Greg Land Phoenix End Song
Yeah.
3 cover. They had it listed for 5,500. I mean, it was probably more than half of that, but it did sell for make offer. Then this was, I think this is Sean Gerber.
This is another Superman, the Spider-Man thing, because they have the backup stories where like this is like 2099 and Batman Beyond.
Well, that was sold by his rep, Sean's rep, and so it did go for $5,200. And then this is Action Comics 592 page by John Byrne, of course, went for 5,000. And then over on Heritage, you had a Uncanny X-Men 200 page by Romita Jr. and Dan Green, went for 6,875. Then, ironically, at the exact same price, a David Wright Carol Day daily went for 6,875. That's beautiful, worth every penny. And then one of those Tradmore Luther Strode pages went for $4,500.
It's a very cool page.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's always fun, when one collector, consigns to Heritage, and you just see, at least one Luther Strode page in the, it seems like the last 3 or 4 auctions, there's been 1 or 2, pieces. But it's like sometimes you'll see the same characters pop up, and you're like, "Yep, somebody just got out of collecting Vision and Scarlet Witch," right? All right, well, there you go. So that's it. And nothing. I think there was even like a Garfield auction that contributed to the 800,000 overall, everybody. But a good week to be an auction house, and a good week to be a rep or dealer. So now we can do our picks, man.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you ready to dive into these? And I hope everybody goes and checks out all the alternates that you had, because you had quite a few, and you spent time. You spent a lot of time.
For sure. Well, I mean, why not? Like this is important to people. I think they get a kick out of it. Either watching, art that gets picked, or they get a little thrill when one of their pieces gets picked. So I tried to give it as much of my time as I could give up, right?
Exactly. No, I'm with you. I had somebody texted me when they saw their name in the email. They're like, "You picked one of my stuff finally," or it was something like that. Anyway, hey, I know it makes everybody happy. So here, let's dive in. This was a page that I would have picked that you're starting off with here, because it was just so damn fun. The Mafood, this was the Wizard.
I love this. Yeah, it's from Wizard, but the best is that Nightman from the Ultraverse is the doorman, and it's so rad because Nightman, he was in the Ultraverse cartoon, and he had a TV series that ran for a number of seasons and everything. So I guess technically the Ultraverse is partially owned now by Marvel, the whole thing. So it seems apropos that Nightman is the bouncer at the door. But then this is like 2003 era, so this is like long before Iron Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe's success and everything. So this is focused on Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, the people that had like the Fox and Sony deals. So they're the guys that are getting through the front door. But it's like you could see guys that will get their day in the sun someday, and then but for right now, some of them are still getting bounced out the door. So
yeah, no, I thought this was awesome. Just cool to see a early, kind of a published Mafood piece in Wizard. I love the layout, just the flowing. I mean, they're almost like, it's like newsreely kind of feel, the way he's laid all these panels out. Just has this flow going through it. I just thought this was so well done. And as much as I read Wizard, I don't remember seeing it at all. But I thought this is like one of my favorite pieces that was added to CAF this week.
It's cool how many gags they can throw into like a single page and still get everything across. And then he gets a chance to probably draw a bunch of characters he really loves and maybe would love to see a cartoon or a movie or something made of. But at that point in time, it seemed like this fantastical, like pie in the sky thing, whereas
Right.
now when you look at this, it's like almost what, like, 75% of the page has, cartoons and movies and all that other stuff. But back
Mhm.
then it was like kind of like more, maybe only 25% of the people on the page had anything. And then that's what makes the Nightman thing so funny, because Nightman's the gatekeeper of some of these guys. So I think it's, I don't know. I saw it and I was like, oh, I gotta pick this because this is hilarious. And then people can say, hey, I have some balance. I picked a Marvel piece because I know
Right.
people will wonder about
Many
that, right?
probably tonight. Now, this was whose collection was this? Oh, Steve Crow. Man, Steve Crow. How does he find this stuff? Drives me nuts. I mean, because a lot of the stuff that Steve adds to his collection are pieces that I don't see at auction. I don't see at eBay. Yet he finds them. And maybe they were, and I'm not looking that close. But it's just shocking some of the pieces he picks up.
Sometimes those are the best victories, right? The things that you stumble upon that no one has ever seen the light of day of but you, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. And hey, we Margaret was in the chat earlier.
yeah.
So
Yeah, this is great because it's Triplicate Girl, and it's from the character design is based on the Legion of Superheroes cartoon or animated series that came out in 2006. And then I know Alberto was wondering if I picked any Transformers pieces, and I think this is the closest that I've come to picking something Transformers related, because Derek J. Wyatt was one of the character designers on the Legion of Superheroes animated TV show. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with this, but there was it ran for about 3 seasons. There was a Transformers animated show, and it was literally called Transformers Animated. And some of the character designs, I think, within the fandom, people lost their minds over because they were kind of more cartoony, kind of more like this, right? And other people, either they eventually got used to them or they just thought they were, just a cool way to envision, the Transformers or whatever. And so that's the best I can give Alberta tonight. Like, that's the closest tie-in. But this, I guess I just have an appreciation for it because I feel like I have some experience, and some people can testify to this. I have some experience like trying to do art on colored paper and trying to leverage the existing color within the art that you're trying to give to someone. And it's not easy. So I guess I just had a strong appreciation for it. Like, I kind of like how, some of the orange, bleeds through, on some of the, like the white leggings, the white hair, some of the sleeves and all that kind of stuff. But then you can still do things to accent it, because she's got all the kind of yellows, that sort of help the figure pop off the page. And so I like the Legion. I like Triplicate Girl, and I just thought this was a dynamic, piece, the way it's posed. And then I sort of had an additional appreciation for the medium on, I guess, the paper and all that stuff that it was done on, because I know it's not to me, I'm always fascinated by when people can make that work for them, whether it's, sometimes it blows my mind when people do like remarks on like Funko Pops and stuff, and it's like this feels like the same thing where you're like, wow, right. you can draw on, because I know now, because
I've white. Right. No, I'm with you. I was always impressed by seeing like early Matt Wagner stuff, when I'd see his art at a show, or Craig too, because he actually went to that Pittsburgh show that I went to a lot when I first started collecting, and I never picked up one of the color pieces, but he just had a knack for it, and clearly, and yeah, and what Marcus mentioned, the J.K. Snyder as well. I mean, they all love working on colored paper. I don't get it. I can't do it either. Color's my enemy. I've never been good with it, but you look at this is gorgeous, and really working with the texture on the paper too to give it some added depth and appeal. So congrats, Margaret.
Yeah, this is great.
All right, so we have a Joe Orlando piece, and I didn't check the calf gallery. Who's are we in? Oh, Wayne.
Go yeah, Wayne. So Snorik basically said, like, post things that are super obscure, and you're not gonna get past me with DC stuff, but I thought this was funny on multiple levels. The Inferior Five are I I guess what you'd call like nepo baby superheroes, you know, like they're the sons and daughters of actual competent superheroes. And so it was a big gag book in the 60s. This is partially a jealousy piece because it's a who's who entry, the directory of the DC universe, which I think is very cool. You know, it kind of, you know, they rolled all those out during Crisis so people could keep track of all the different characters that appeared in the book. And the Inferior Five often, it was a parody book, so they were often put up against popular icons of the time. So they ran into like parodies of Get Smart and Tarzan and things like that. But what is most appropriate for the purposes of this show, I think, and goes to this whole Marvel DC rivalry, which I'm trying to punch up for my DC bros or whatever, is they frequently fought parodies of Marvel characters. So instead of the X-Men, it was like the Eggs-Men, right? So there are all these like, you know, clucking chicken looking like goofballs that Professor X, you know, it was like a Professor X pastiche or whatever. And then I think this predates Captain America's Kooky Quartet, but they end up fighting like the Fantastic Four, and it's like the Kooky Quartet. So also, I think they called the thing like whatchamacallit, and he had like a, you know, a catchphrase or what have you. And then in terms of the art in this, like I always was fascinated with the fact that like I don't think you're often going to find a piece of who's who original art that doesn't have what they refer to as like the surprint. So like when you flipped on that cityscape, it's like they would always have like the main image like this, whether it's a single figure or a team dynamic, and that would usually be on one board. And then there's either like an overlay or some secondary board or whatever. And so they would do like the color holds on all of them. So often, you know, whatever it is, like sometimes if it was like, you know, I don't know, Mr. Freeze, and then they're doing the backstory of Mr. Freeze, maybe he's, you know, I don't know, fighting Batman in a batarang or something in the background, like that would be held, you know, with light blue in the background and stuff like that. So you know, I think that's one of those things, like if you're a collector and you're aware of that, you know, you may always have the potential to have like half a piece if maybe both of those aren't together, or maybe you're gonna, you know, I don't know, hit up somebody to say, hey, can you make me a really cool overlay to you know, make the piece look a little more complete or what have you. But I guess my favorite of the Inferior Five is Dumb Bunny, right? And so, you know, it's like that's one of the more attractive characters in the bunch. But you've got like Merry Man, the Blimp, it's Awkward Man, and I think it's what's his name? I'm trying to remember now. I forgot now.
The guy in the center?
Yeah, the arrow guy. I think it's like something that starts with an M, but anyway. But yeah, they're very cool. I mean, you know, and again, like I said, anybody who has a who's who piece is you know, basically that, again, going back to one of Snorrick's terms, like this is basically like a Jelly Belly type pick as well, right? White Feather. Thank you. Yeah.
Michael McIsaac to the rescue. Yeah, I thought this was a cool piece too. Oh, I did not know that. Wow. Well, she made the rounds. No, this was cool too. When I saw it, I've been following Wayne's gallery for a while now. It's just fun getting to see the pieces. They're just all over the place. So, you know, older stuff, newer stuff. We know he's a fan of Dan Brereton, based on what Dan said. You know, he's picked up quite a few pieces from him. So yeah, this is awesome. But and I did put my like on it already. That's good. All right, so a collector named Tobin Pope from Canada. You got two Canadians in a row here, man.
Hey, I wasn't really keeping track of the flags, but I think that's a cool little add-on as far as the site goes. Like that's cool if you're doing deals, right? You know where stuff is coming from or where it's being received.
Exactly.
Maybe this is a shout out to Jeff Wedding and all the Star Wars peeps, but I thought this was definitely like one of the cooler kind of commission pieces that I saw. It's Bosk. He's a Trandoshan bounty hunter. Um, I There's something about this that like Bosk does not traditionally come across to me as having like a red blue color palette, and the
Mhm.
way that this is set up, it's like there's something really uh, visceral, and it like captures kind of like the way the character is kind of perceived as a bit literally like slimy with all the kind of whites on there, but then also like there's something about how dangerous he is, like that there's the red and the blue that's like popping through and everything. And you know, I mean, this is supposed to be a guy that's supposed to have like Wookiee pelts on his back and everything. He's supposed to take out, you know, these guys that can rip your arms off and stuff. So, you know, I don't know. It just seems like a very visceral image, and kind of definitely gets that across. Like he's a scary looking dude, and it comes across as he's
No,
very, very
when I was
frightening.
flipping through the some stuff on CAF, when I came to this image, I mean, it was like it wasn't a jump scare. I didn't, you know, but the thing is, you
Right.
felt it. It was like the eyes, the grin. It's so well done. And then like all the things you just mentioned, you know, using the blue as one of the for shadow on this too is just so smart. And I was going to say the uplighting that Marcus already beat me to it in the chat. Everything about it is it's moody, it's scary. I loved it. I would have picked this piece myself. I thought it was so damn good. And let's see, I've got to get my like on there too. Riley Rosmo on this one, but congrats. Two
Yeah.
Canadian pieces in a row. Okay, is there going to be a trifecta here? I don't know. Jose El Comic Art. Nope, he's in Spain. But 3 internationals in a row. We've got that going.
You got that going.
I love this one when I saw it too. You have the brick wall, the storytelling here. I mean, there was just something special about this piece when I saw it on CAF, and I'm glad you picked it, because it was a perfect image to use for the show graphic too. I thought it was just so fun. And how often can you put an Eisner piece,
Right.
in the show and use it like this? I thought this was fantastic.
This was also kind of a nostalgia pick for me because, you know, I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but I love those Hero illustrated books. I mean, I know it was sort of like the upstart competitor to Wizard, and I know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Wizard, you know, certainly probably outsold them. Like its longevity was way longer than Heroes Illustrated, but there's something about these where they had these little gatefold covers, and just using that part of the medium to great effect, like the whole, you know, hole in the wall, and that you could see the brick wall and him coming out the other end of it, like, is just super cool. And like this is almost the same as what you were talking about with the Rorschach. I mean, how often could you possibly say, oh, I got an Eisner spirit, you know, like it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, so it's like this is fantastic.
Agreed. Yeah, and I love the brick wall. He's just really just having fun with the piece, with the handled this. Yeah, I love it. I love the looseness of the one side. I love, the villains, the masked villains on the
Right.
left, the run of the mill thugs on the right. I mean, there's just fun storytelling going on here.
It's almost like the Eisner world of the spirit is behind that brick wall, and he's coming out to like this, you know, 90s Extremors, Thunder Thigh, like big giant, muscle bound goon type villains and stuff. And it's literally like he's crossing the bridge into like another world and stuff. So it's cool, and sort of works if you're cognizant of the time period in which it was made. Right, they're probably trying to serve, multiple masters in this, where you're like, oh, we want to get the people that respect and appreciate Eisner and the spirit, but then we also probably got to sell the books to people that want, crazy guys with spikes on their heads and Extremors, action or whatever. Right, so
Right.
it's
This
it's
is
fun.
the era of the Tick comic, and it's crazy looking characters like that, like I can't even think of any of those characters.
Chairface, right?
Yes.
The Man Cow, all those guys, right? Like
Mhm.
Elseed.
Elseed. Yeah, I've got a page from Elseed actually.
Nice.
But yeah, but I think this is great. I'm I would again. So there we go. That's the second one that I would have picked that you picked. So we're on the same page here. So I'll go back to a U.S. collector, Andrew Ramirez. We get the like on here. This is an artist named Godtail, who I'm not familiar with, and let's see. There we go. We can isolate it on her. Are you familiar with the artist, or did you like?
Yeah, like this was something. I think the first time I saw a piece by Godtail, I think Carl Choi had bought like a published Psylocke cover that he did, and then what fascinated me about it was I think in that case, like it was pencils, and then he painted the gold around it as like a uh, afterthought signature sealant. I don't know how to explain it, right? Like I assume they took the pencils, they scanned them, they made a published cover that was colored in and everything like that. But then it seemed like when he went to, I guess, sell it, right, then it was sort of sealed with this gold background, but it still had the pencils. But in this case, it looks like this is a commission where the Cassandra Cain, I think partially because you had that show with Darian, and
Yep.
he has that focus, right, with Cassandra Cain. And like I love that Batgirl book. So it's like it's always hard for me. Like sometimes I see these things and I go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And that was one of the things where I saw it and it made me go, ooh. And I love the character. And I think it works, right? Like it's kind of got that, anime flair to it, which I think works for the character. And then also, there's something about it where the angle, the pose, the strength of the character, just seems like it comes through because she's a fighter. Like she can kick butt, and that's fairly evident with the pose, the stance. Like she's ready to beat up a bunch of bad guys in this.
Well, it's a very nice piece, and Godtail. I'll see. I'm gonna have to. There's got to be more than one Godtail artwork on
Oh
the
yeah,
site,
yeah.
right? Oh, okay, here you
But
go.
yeah, see that's kind of what I was
Oh,
getting
I
at.
see
Like
what.
some of these they're like penciled and then he kind of seals the outside of it with the gold and stuff. So that one, that Carl, the Psylocke Ninja one, I think is on that second row or whatever. But
Did I pass it? Oh, this one here. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that
I
that
remember
that
that
that that
piece.
that was the first time I saw something from the artist, and I was like, oh, like it just again it fascinated me. Like I was like, oh, why was this done? Like, was it done before it got scanned? Was it done
Mhm.
after? Like that whole kind of thing.
Oh, that's yeah. I forgot all. I remember this. This is good. Well, wow. Uh, dang, very nice. Did I even get it? Nope. I did. Here, there you go. I just gave Carl a like. All right, where are we going to? Oh, John Monteleone. Yeah, see, look, he's got his IMDb. I reached out to him. I'm like, you have an interesting collection. I'd like to do an interview with you.
Mm,
Because
that would be
if
cool.
you're not watching his calf, he really has some interesting pieces in his collection, and this one too. I don't think I put a like on that one either. No, I did not. But I call him Rudy Nebris.
Yeah.
Magazine era art. Look at this thing. It's fantastic.
I the black and white. I mean, my passion for the black and white Marvel magazines goes way later, right? I love all those Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street,
Sure.
those 2 issues or whatever. But I think it's all encompassing. Like anytime you have these magazine issues, there's just something that's so captivating about it. The way they use the gray tones and make it looks so much more lifelike. I think when I was a kid, right? Like I know sometimes you mentioned, oh, when I was a kid, I didn't know anything about DC. Like this might be my self damning appraisal of myself as a kid. But when I was a kid, and this will probably be a shock to everybody who loves original art, but and even now to a point, like I really like my art to be colored. Like I feel like that's a complete process of
Hmm.
making the comic book and everything. And so the stuff that I always hated were like the essential volumes because it's like, oh well, you're you're not even going to color this for me? Like what? Like, like I felt like, I was missing out on something. But when it comes to the Marvel magazines, I never feel that way because it feels like there's so much more to it. And then this piece in particular, I mean, you wouldn't know from the context of it, but it's like Iron Fist is going on some kind of dream quest because his girl pal, like she was abused and violated and all this stuff by these barbarian types or whatever that like to rape and pillage and all this kind of stuff. And when it's like he gets a sort of like a Vision Quest do-over, and so this is like him basically taking out people that are the lowest of the low, and you just feel like for me this is the epitome of superhero comics. It's like it's this writing of a great injustice, and it's splashy and loud, and it's got the sound effects and the whole nine yards. Like it's just it's such a catharsis in comics. And this page, like if you looked up the dictionary definition of catharsis, it's like, oh, take a look at this Iron Fist splash, because this is the catharsis. It's like these guys that in some weird alternate whatever reality like violated your girl, like you're gonna kick the crap out of them. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's nothing more like empowering and cathartic than that feeling. And that's the kind of stuff I love about the medium and art and comics and everything. So I had to pick this.
I don't blame you. Not one bit. Do I even I don't think I own any Marvel magazine art from this era. But yeah, every time I see it, it takes me back to that time, because the magazines, I would go to the drugstore, and the magazine, so you had like 4 rows of staggered rows of mostly comics, but the back row was always the magazines. And at least at the drugstore I went to. So you had to like dig to get to them.
Yeah.
And you'd be looking at the Hulk issues or like Marvel Premiere, those sorts of things. But they even for me back then, they just kind of stood out as just being something so unique, because typically the cover would be a painted piece, right? Maybe it's a Joe Jusko cover or whatever. It stood out from all the other comics that were there, and it was larger, so it just had a lot of impact on me. I mean, I don't know why I should just be collecting this stuff, because it really was some of the stuff I loved the most as a kid. But when I saw this piece too, I definitely loved it. And again, if you're not following John's calf gallery, I'll just throw the link in the chat, because he's definitely been posting some awesome stuff. And he's only got 12 artworks, and he's only watched by 12 people. So give him a few more watches and encourage him to post more artwork. And he did say he would do an interview with me later in the summer. So cool. Hopefully we'll get some more pieces to look at. Ilya. Oh, okay. Got a nice John Amore here from in Ilya's calf gallery.
I like Sandman. I like the representation for a Golden Age character, but there's something about all these pieces, like the mood pieces, like it's so, and it fits so well with this, kind of, I guess I'll call it the mystery theater version of Sandman, but it's so dead on and appropriate. And I just, I thought it was cool. Like I thought it was a lot of fun. That it just seemed like something that certainly should be highlighted, because it's a cool piece. It's a great interpretation of the character, and I think it's something where I think the artist style and the nature of the character, like they blend together like so perfectly. And it might be different if it was, I don't know, I just throwing out random things, but if it was a Care Bear, right, like then maybe it doesn't quite work where it has the mood and the tone and whatever. But seeing something like this, where it's kind of like this mystery theater version of Sandman, and it's rooted in something very grounded and gritty, even though it has the veneer, some elements of kind of heroic DC mystery men type aesthetics, but it blends all those together, and it's, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. It spoke to me. I like the character, and I really like the style as it applies to that particular character.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, the way he's handled this piece, the way he's framed him in the overall piece as well. It's just it's wonderful. John is on a tear. Like I saw
Yeah.
several people mention it in the chat. He's really doing some amazing work, and we know Ilya has a kind of a penchant for this era of characters as well. I got to meet Ilya for the first time at Comic Art Con a few weeks ago, but no, this is gorgeous. And you figure it's like a character. The only bit of flesh you're getting to see, really. I mean, I guess you can see his neck, but at the eye, one eye,
right,
and then the other eye is just being, it's being the in the goggle is just lit up. I mean, John's smart. He puts a lot of thought into these pieces, and does it all with so much with Zipatone. I mean, I don't know how the heck he does it.
Yeah.
All right. Now this, I have to say, I did pick a piece from Mr. Jim Warden already, as well. So we're going to get two Jim Wardens in here. This is a Chris Sprouse piece. And that one's got Zipatone in it too, surprisingly. Yeah. So it's a Supreme pinup.
Yeah, this was a Supreme pinup. It's interesting because Chris Sprouse would go on to do an era of the book, when Alan Moore came in and started writing and everything. But this is actually like way before that. It's just a pinup in the back of one of the earlier issues. But I've always liked that follow-up run, and I always liked, I don't know. I'm a fanboy, a mark when it comes to Supreme. Like I just think it's a cool character, a cool book. I think because I'm a fan of Superman, and I don't know, it's weird. I have probably weird penchant for some Superman pastiches I think are really cool, and some Superman pastiches I think are, I'm not, a big fan of. But this is one of the sort of Superman pastiches that I really got into when I was a kid. And I like the way this looks, and then the fact that he would go on to do the book, with Alan Moore, like it gives like an added layer to this pinup, right? Because you can, imagine it's one of these many adventures that Supreme had, and it's just, I don't know, I just think it's super cool looking. So I was like, I got to pick this because, it's a big giant splash, and Supreme's about to hurl some kind of alien tank on all these other alien bros, and it just looks like he's about to, lay the smack down. So nothing says more, about superhero comics than lifting up a big giant, spaceship and about to slam it into a bunch of, evil alien guys or whatever. So I thought it was cool.
Ian saying good night, Derek.
Oh, have a good night, Ian.
Later. Yeah, that's Rich Danny says feels like a Dave Johnson. Yeah, Dave has a great sense of composition as well, Rich. So I can see the kind of comparison there. Yeah, I just go back to Jim Warden as a collector. He's been posting so much stuff lately, and it's just, I mean, what era he likes, and I just think he's, he was in the right place at the right time, working with some of the artists that he's gotten to work with, and then just being around, shows and stuff to pick up cool art like this over the years. Yeah. He's one of those people I will forever be envious of for their time in the hobby before I got started. But I think he held on to most of it. So this is cool. Jim just keeps posting stuff. But I picked a more modern piece from him, so that'll be a little different. Let's see here. And okay, so this might be your last pick.
Yeah, I think this is my last one. So I guess I picked this just because I've been enjoying it's like right now there's like a current run in the Superman books by Joshua Williamson, and Moira's been doing the art on that, and then there were a couple issues that took place, I think, right around the DCKO, where they sort of reintroduced Superboy Prime. And I know, Superboy Prime, to some people, it's like they kind of turned him into a more villainous character and everything. So I know some people aren't like super fans of that character, but I think the angle that they're going in, which who knows, maybe I'm doxing myself, but in some of the current books, Superboy Prime is the professor. Like he comes from an Earth where he's the only superhero, and he's basically read all the comics there are to read. And so there's this funny moment in the current run where he has to get a job in Metropolis, and so he goes to a comic store, and all these guys that own the comic store don't know what's going on and who drew what and who wrote what. And he comes right through the door and basically says, "Oh, it was Gardner Fox," and and basically quotes everything verbatim. So in some ways, he's a professor of comics as well, right? And so I think it's fun. I like this image just because it's basically reflective of the current run, but also kind of like a wonderful full-on profile of the character, and what kind of is, I presume, is what is currently going on in the book. I'm not sure if he got this like before that or around the same time. I'm not sure when this was commissioned or whatever, but to me it's reflective of that current run, and I'm kind of a fan of what's going on in it at the moment. So I figured this certainly deserved a showcase, right? Because I think it's I like Dan Moira's art, and I think this is a great representation of the character as he is, like sort of right in this window or minute, this kind of I don't know, reevaluation or renewal of the character, as I think Joshua Williamson is doing in the comics right now. So
very cool. Your alter ego, professor of comics. All right. Well, let's see. I've got I have 10 picks myself. I went with some standard good ones here. This is I know this is Peter Rose Gaff Gallery, and we have a Joe Kubert, Sergeant Rock, World War II. What's it called? Okay, it is Sergeant Rock 356, 1981 page. What makes a rock? Just and looking at it, it looked like the Charles Atlas ad when I first saw the thumbnail. Is what what it reminded me of. But I just thought it was awesome. Just fun storytelling, a great image, of him in this. And I don't know. I see this, and everybody knows I want a Kubert Hawkman page. If I see a page like this, and I think Sergeant Rock might not be so bad, but
well, nobody kicks sand in Sergeant Rock's face. I'll tell you that much.
That's right. Exactly. He will kick it right back. That's for sure. But yeah, Peter, you posted quite a few nice pieces this week, and I think I actually had a different one picked, and I came back to this one. I was like, oh, this one's just too good. I can't. As much as I like the other piece, this one was the one I went with. So congrats on this one. I think it's fantastic.
I think this qualifies as what did they come up with the other night, like a 3/4 half splash whatever mabob with a bunch of inset panels like that. This certainly qualifies. Like this is fantastic. Like
yeah, no, I agree. I totally love this piece. So I don't know. Peter keeps adding them. I know where Peter's getting some of his stuff though. He does buy at Heritage, because I see a Heritage piece come up, and then a nice war page, and it does end up in Peter's Calf Gallery. So I know where he's shopping. T. Shen, I can't even remember. Oh, that's right. This was the Wolverine Hulk Sam Keith page. I picked a couple Sam Keith pages after he passed, but this is from a series that I think I don't know. I actually enjoyed it. Even though I thought the figures were a little more distorted than I was used to seeing in it, but I didn't mind it. I liked it a lot. I liked the coloring that was done in the book, and I don't know. I just thought this was a fun, dark page, kind of like especially that last panel with him with fists on the ground, Wolverine in there. But yeah,
There's
looking at
always
it now,
something a little surreal about the work that Sam Keith does, and that I think what makes it sort of engaging and fascinating to people. You know,
Mhm.
it's you know, it might not necessarily be what somebody might think of as a traditional interpretation of the characters or anything like that, but it's always like very visceral, engaging. You know, like that it's something where you know, you can't help but be drawn to it, you know, and I mean, that's why you pick this page, right? It's like
Right.
the Hulk, you know, you know, he's you know, basically not too happy, right? And of course Wolverine is very much, you know, they're always pitted against one another, sort of in a confrontational manner. So it's, you know, this is definitely a lovely page.
It is. So congrats to T. Shen on picking that one up. Where we go? Oh, Michael McIsaac. There you
Yeah.
go. This one got a lot of love. I thought this
Yeah.
kept popping up in a few places. So 134 views. Andrew Robinson, Dazzler. We know that Michael's gotten a few Dazzler pieces in his collection
Oh yeah,
over
yeah.
time. I just like this one, and I love that the gray tones used throughout on her figure, and then just using this purple pinks to highlight her. I just thought the coloring on it was great, and it was, but by being so subdued, you didn't really use the lighting behind her isn't really like just too bright that it's making her be a silhouette. But I know that plays into the way he decided to kind of light the figure. I love it. I thought it was great. I mean, it's an exaggerated figure, but it doesn't. It works well. It fills the page. I just this was a
There,
piece kind of on the edge for me for a little while, but I'm like, I'm going with it.
what's cool about it is, right, you've got the disco room, right, which has that great mood lighting, but then you kind of have what I'll refer to as the I have the power, you know, disco you know, light effect with the microphone, right? And it's almost like, you know, He-Man raising his sword and getting a lightning bolt hit with it, but with her, you know, it's the result of her powers, but then it also sort of, you know, highlights that she's in this kind of cool, moody disco club, but she's the one that's the most vibrant of everyone in the room, right? Like that's why she's a superstar, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's a very cool piece, and I know you know, Mike has a penchant for all the Dazzler pieces and stuff like that, so I know he loves this one. So
As well, he should. All right, Andre, Jonathan Weishak.
yeah,
I mean, come on, this was ridiculous.
this is very cool,
And it's
very
funny,
cool.
the first thing I think when I saw this piece was, I know John always says, don't even give me a suggestion and I will give you a great piece. But Andre went to him and said, I want a Warlock. And he still delivers a phenomenal freaking work of art. I mean, but I'm sure he was into it from the get-go, right? But
I feel like, because I think I looked at the write up for this, and I feel like you know, Wayshak was familiar with the particular era, and this is echoing a very specific issue of New Mutants. You know, so it's like there's a lot of weight behind what's going on here, right? Because you know, Doug had been killed a few issues earlier, and they're all trying to sort of deal with it in their own ways. And because, you know, Warlock's this alien, he doesn't process it the same way that the other, you know, I quote unquote, you know, human characters do, right? And so, you know, this is you know, basically a penultimate moment in that issue where they're trying to deal with the loss of one of their best friends, right? And so, I mean, there's, you know, it's very emotional, you know, if you know the weight behind, you know, what's going on, and you can see that anguish in Rain's face and everything. Like
mhm,
you know, it's very cool.
it definitely is. Number one Marvel fan said he got to see it in person. I would have liked to have seen this one in person. But Andre did well. He does well, especially on these Warlock commissions.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite ones though might be that SpongeBob one. Yeah,
Mm.
can't forget that one. I want that on a T-shirt. Where are we going to next? Oh yeah, there you go, Mr.
Ooh.
Alberto. Jay Anacleto only took like 4 or 5 sketch cards at OAX, and I was, yeah, I mean, though I'd seen images and things, I was like, I'm kind of skeptical. You know, they were expensive. I thought about it. I'm like, okay, this would be a cool opportunity to get one. I'm like, you know, they did sell out, so I didn't have to think about it for too long. But boy, oh boy, did Jay do just a freaking amazing job on all of them that he finished. So
This is insane. Like,
isn't
I
it?
mean, it's insane because it's on a card and it's pencil, like, but it's so good. It's very good. You did well, Alberto. Like, this is a really awesome Red Sonja.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I was shocked by his work. I mean, and if he comes back and does sketch cards again, I might just like get myself on that list somehow, some way, because I thought they were spectacular, and that's not. And there was so many great, pieces done on the OAX sketch cards, but it was just unexpected. I just didn't think it would have the same Anacleto feel that you see on a finished cover, or pieces that we see on Cap all the time in Kirk's gallery when he's selling stuff, or even some of his personal pieces. And he did it. He translated everything he does on a published cover to a sketch card.
Uh-huh.
Whereas I still have a lot of OX sketch cards to post. It's a never. Wow, come on, they should be easy to scan, man.
You should lay like 9 or 12 of them on one scan and then break them up, make it easy on yourself, right?
Exactly. All right, so this is an MT27's CAF gallery. Let's see, they have Alvaro Bueno Martinez, and I just thought the image was kind of kooky and crazy, and
now I'm going to call you a secret Clayface fan too, Bill.
I know this
two
is kind of weird,
two
isn't it?
Clayface pieces in one
Yeah,
show.
and we had the Gigzilla that we gave away earlier too. But yeah, I saw this, and I, it was almost too weird. I was like, there's the juxtaposition of the two faces was bothering me for a while, and then I love the palette that's used in this, so that it doesn't really. So it still works for me. I liked it so much. I was like, I gotta pick it, and it's DC. I'm like, I gotta lean a little into DC for you tonight.
There's something about Clayface that really does evoke body horror, like because he can turn into faces, but sometimes he doesn't completely complete the transformation. It's not always solid. So you frequently will have these moments where I don't know, a batarang electrocutes him or whatever, and he'll go through all these permutations of all the faces that he was disguised as for the episode or the comic or whatever it is, right? And so this is just, to me, it reads as, yeah, I get what you're saying. It feels weird, but it's by design, right? You're like,
yep.
Bodies don't work that way. So there's some kind of eldritch body horror going on when the shifting of the faces and the I don't know, bones and stuff that don't look like they belong together are all in sort of compressed into the same image and everything. So it is a cool piece. I feel like this is like you're getting a snapshot of him kind of doing a Clayface freak out, like morphing into a bunch of different faces. But I don't know, Jimmy Olsen just happened to get this one shot where he morphed into Batman for a second, right? Like, and that's kind of what I'm getting here.
Yep. No, I agree. It's growing on me even more. It's creepy and I love it. So yes, congrats MT27, 3 years on CAF. All right, a couple more here. So scan on this one's a little weird. We got a little extra white space on this side, but Giffen, Legion page, just cool, memorable image. I was buying, this was like everybody knows. I bought Legion, I bought some Perez Titans, and only a few other, like Crisis I bought from DC off the shelves. So for me, it's like seeing this image is just like I remember turning the first page and seeing this image, and it's just cool getting to see this stuff. I love it, and it's DC had its appeal from time to time for me.
Hey, this is primo Legion. I mean, great Darkness saga. This is and this is the title page of one of the lead-in issues to that. Like, and you've got Superboy and Wildfire and Invisible Kid and Cosmic Boy and Phantom Lady and stuff like, or Phantom Girl, sorry. But like that's, I mean, this is, I mean, to most Legion fans, like this is the peak, right? This is one of the greatest Legion stories there ever was and ever will be, and the page design itself is super cool. I mean, the way I'm trying to use artistic terms now. The way the vanishing point goes down to the bottom of the center of the hole there is super
like
cool,
Chris
right?
Stork now.
Right. I'm trying. But no, but it's super awesome. Like the page is great, and I think the only reason why I probably didn't pick this was because I couldn't save it to my little favorites thing, right? So that was the only reason why I skipped this one. But I thought it was super cool too when I was going through all.
So he's opted out
pages.
of favorites.
I think so. Yeah. So that's
Let's see.
if you that's what I'll say.
Yeah,
Don't feel bad if I didn't stick your piece in my little folder. It was that
right, when
you
you
opted
can't,
out of favorites, because that's what I was doing.
that is
this last
something a
week.
lot of people don't know about, but yes, from your profile page, you can opt out of other people sharing your artwork into collections like that, favorites. Like somebody could have create a favorites folder of Legion art, and they could share it over there, which actually just gets you more views at the end of the day. It gives the people another way to discover you. But Aiden clearly has that turned off. He only wants the stuff shown in his CAF gallery, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I thought this was awesome. I love it.
It's a great page.
All right, so Joe A. Oh, here we go. Come on, Chris Somney. Anything published is always going to be cool. And I got DC in again. So Batman: The Last Halloween. I thought this was great. I love just the panel layouts in general. These really tight panels with the close-ups of Batman. I love. I mean, there's the quality that he has to his line work, and his blacks is always just fun, and the pieces that you see. And I feel like I see more of his pinup related stuff or commission style things that end up appearing on CAF. But I just thought this was awesome. I mean, I want to see Chris only do published work ever. And I'd love to see him let's love to see him write his own stories. I think he's a great storyteller, and his artwork is just always so damn impressive.
I remember because I think he will occasionally post and stuff, but I was looking at some of the Batman and Robin year one stuff, but I think he was focusing on art dropping some of this from the Long Halloween stuff. So I think that was probably somebody's only option, because I don't think he was planning on selling any of the stuff from the Batman and Robin year one at this point. So I mean, if you wanted something like this, and as gorgeous as it is, right, I mean, you get why. Like there's that kind of weight in Batman's face at the bottom of the panel, going through all the action that takes place with Catwoman. But yeah, it's I mean, it's moody, it works, I think, very well for a Batman piece, right? Like it definitely evokes that whole Mazzucchelli year one vibe, the shadows, the lights,
Definitely.
that whole thing. So it's like, and I think that's the evolution of those kind of books in the storytelling, right? Because you went from like Mazzucchelli, and then you went to like Tim Sale, and now you're going to Samney, and there's that sort of evolution, but there is a consistency to it in the way, the I don't know, the mood, the atmosphere, kind of, So and it looks fantastic. Like anybody would be thrilled to have a Batman piece like that in their collection.
Indeed. So Joe A, congrats. 2 more here for me. This is in Brian Norton's CAF gallery again. He's picking some interesting people. This is an artist I'm not familiar with, Marie Oliver. Just a hella piece. I just, again, thought the tonal work was great. I love the lighting on the headgear here. I just, and similar, I think Brian had a KCM or KCN, I can't remember the name of the artist from last week, but it was kind of an all pencil, all tonal piece as well. And this was striking. I don't mean to pick Brian twice in a row, but congrats, Brian. You got in 2 weeks consecutively, but for 2 totally different reasons. But I love this piece. Thought it was great. Hell is a cool character. you know, to illustrate. And clearly, Marie Oliver was very into doing the drawing.
I always feel like stuff like this is unbelievable to me in a good way, where you're like, that's pencil? Like what? Like for real? Like it's so crazy. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's thanks for sending me the check. Actually, the I opened the Easter card today, Brian. So thank you for that. And trust me, everybody, if you send me cards, I don't pick your art, but in Brian's case, it has worked out for him apparently the last couple of days. But anyways, no, I thought this was awesome. And again, I mean, it's an artist, Marie Oliver. Just gonna click the name. Is this gonna be like the only? Oh, doggone it! How did I get? Like, oh, I clicked there. Okay, 6 pieces. Is that all? Yeah, 6 pieces. They kind of do a lot of likenessy stuff. Is that? Yeah, all over. All right, one last piece, and I told you I picked a Jim Warden piece just like you did. This one I thought was cool. Igor Corday. You know, I never, because remember when he did the new X-Men stuff, and I really just never liked it. And then and although I've always wanted a page, I've wanted a page because he has a quality to his work that's so so I don't know, so viscerally like not appealing to me that I've wanted to get one. And
damning faint praise.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's, you know, but then I see this piece, and I don't even know what the hell it's from, because this was the last piece I picked when I was going through the set. So it's Cable 97 cover.
Yeah.
But look at how beautiful it is. I mean, it maintains all the things about Igor's work that I didn't really appreciate in the new X-Men stuff, and it just works in this piece. It's beautiful. It's like I look at this, and I if we pulled up a interior new X-Men page, you'd be like, oh, I mean, they're not the same. It's almost like they're not drawn by the same guy. But I see this, and I'm like, I see his work, and but this is so much cooler and cleaner, and I don't get it.
I think Marcus makes a good point, though. He's talking about how he's more of a painter. Like, if I recall correctly, like he did the Gorn Crisis graphic novel or whatever, and I think that was fully painted, right? And so, like, there's probably like different. I don't know. Like when you look at people, sometimes you know they have their primary strengths and how they you know.
But look at the the palm fronds or whatever, the way he's handling the lighting on that. It's almost perfect. I mean, it's so it looks so natural and realistic. I mean,
well, and the other thing too is like that's probably what he's in love with, right? Like the foliage and the trees and the palms and all this other stuff. And you know, maybe when you're reading, say, New X-Men, you're like, oh man, why does Beak look like that? Or I don't that doesn't look like my Wolverine, or whatever, you know, kind of nonsense you have up in your head.
Right? You're right. That's probably part of it too. It's like,
you know, that's probably, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you got to put that like outside and kind of be like, well, look at the foliage, like look at what's going on there, you know, and appreciate that. I think this is, I'm trying to remember, but I think this is like, I don't know, like 10 issues away from when they turned them into Soldier X or whatever. But you know, I mean, I agree. Like, I like the way the shadows come down over. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, he loved drawing like all these trees, and then the foliage, the shadows of that go over Cable. I mean, it's, you know, it's a very moody, like, cool piece that works for.
I'm gonna have to go back at this new X-Men work again, and maybe I'm gonna feel differently about it. I still want a page. Want a representative piece from every artist that worked on.
You should do your reevaluation, and then that'll help you focus. Like, this is the piece that I want to target, right? Like,
yeah, I saw one at Heritage once, and I thought, you know, and actually I put in what I thought was a good bid on it, like, you know, $1,400 for an interior page, and I got outbid, you know, by like almost $1,000. So it was that good, you know. So I've tried. I found one I really wanted, and I couldn't get it. But anyways,
Sometimes
congrats
that's
to Mr. Warden for continuing to add stuff. And I have to point out, Jim did a great job. He's definitely put his own custom image into his header here. And I've seen over the past week or so, a lot of people replacing their cover image because I remember going in their galleries many times during development, and then now I'm seeing like cool placed positioned images in there. So thank you everybody for cleaning up the randomness of what we had to assign in there to get us started. It's really fun getting to see people play.
I think I lucked out because the page that was already the most viewed, all I had to do was kind of move it because one of the panels was a giant lengthwise panel. So I was like, perfect. I just moved it so it like fit in the widescreen image. So
what more can you ask for? We tried. We definitely tried. Oh man, well Derek, we did it. We did it. This worked out well, man. You are welcome back anytime we we need to fill in. I know that I had a couple of the people email me as well, but no, this was great, and you taught me a few things about DC, which is always a good thing. But yeah, so are you going to be at Heroes in June?
I will be actually. I wasn't sure at first, but I know a bunch of my podcast buddies are going, and I knew a lot of people from comic art fans will be there as well. So I ended up sort of solidifying days off and all that kind of stuff, like getting stuff like that taken care of. So that's definitely in my future. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope a lot of people in the chat are also going to go to Heroes. Obviously, that's going to be a very fun show for comic art fans in general. There's just, I mean, that's what show can bring 250 artists, and you always have there's so many people you want to at least go up and look at their portfolios. That's the one thing about Heroes, and then the nightlife is always great. It's being in town. It's like one of the best cities to go to a con, and there's just so much to do. So
I've been there like 4 different times, and I've always had fun every time I went there. So yeah.
And Rob throws the best get-togethers too. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging with us tonight. Sorry I didn't get to play that one Page I Love video. I apologize to Craig Rousseau and to Kevin Sharp. I will find where I saved it when I exported the video, and we'll have it for next week. But don't forget, mystery sketch. I'll send out a mailing tomorrow, and that's about it. So, Derek, thank you. Good night, everybody. We'll see you again sometime soon. Well, I guess next week. All right. Take it easy.